Okay, guys, we are live. So for those listening at home, welcome to the Dungeon Musings YouTube channel. My name is Kevin Madison, and I will be your friendly Dungeon Master this evening. Tonight, we're continuing on with our ongoing campaign playing Paizo Publishing's very cool Pathfinder 2nd Edition fantasy role-playing game. And our campaign is set in Greg Gillespie's very cool Barrowmaze complete setting. With me tonight are some of the stars of the Barrowmaze campaign who are joining me for session 22 of this ongoing game. First up, we have Arlen.
Hi, I'm Arlen, and I am playing Sir Yvain again, now that we're all back together in Helix.
Yeah. And next up is John.
Hello, everyone. I'm John. I'm playing Zuko Flamebearer, Goblin Pyromaniac, wannabe bard, and he is glad to be back in town.
Nice. So we have let me just clear that out of the way, get out of the way, boom. So we have this session we've got a couple other players who are joining us in over the course of the session, but this is going to be a bit of a transition episode because, well, guys, I mean, like, what happened last episode? Both of you were there. I don't know if Jeff's joining us tonight. He usually does on Fridays, but it's quite late.
Yeah, we met and brokered deals with the Mother of Toads.
Yes.
The fear was strong, but the rewards, I think, were worth it.
Mm-hmm.
So, Zuko got a level, and he asked for power and fire, and I think he got a little bit of both. So Yvain was not there.
Sir Yvain was not there. Sir Yvain, so we've got sort of two different story arcs going on, so we might want to go back to where they diverged, because way back when Sir Yvain had a vision that was brought on by the ghostly form of Sir Albus, his predecessor as a knight of Arcantrol.
Yeah.
That included a couple of things that made us think that we needed to go visit the Mother of Toads and talk to her. So we sent off essentially one section of the party to go do that. Sir Yvain stayed in Helix and ended up doing the whole fight with the tree and the Orcus spirit arc. But we've been, for the last couple of sessions, going off with the other characters, and they were in Ironguard Mott, and then got not quite kicked out of Ironguard Mott, but kicked out of all the taverns in Ironguard Mott. And then we're in Bogtown, and then went to visit the Mother of Toads to trade in information.
Mm-hmm. So, what did you guys learn? It was Angus and Zuko who were at, or in the audience with the Mother of Toads. What secrets did the Mother reveal?
Well, I know, as a player, I know she revealed some of the specific information to Angus. But as far as Zuko goes, he was told a secret that he was told to hold close, and tasked with seeking a traitor at the north of the Dwarven Bridge.
Mm-hmm.
So.
What about Angus? Was he tasked with anything?
Angus was tasked. He was tasked with, let me find my notes. PF2. Angus was tasked with the one who would call himself Lord intends to execute one blessed by me. You will save him.
Okay. So, prior to the, you'd mentioned as well too that prior to the party being bifurcated and half the party going off in one direction, half going the other, it appeared, or maybe it was after that it happened. There was two different things. The reason that one branch of the party went off towards Ironguard Mott and then Bogtown. Let's move over so we can see the map here as well. And I'll move old Werby Werb out of the way. The reason that we went to Ironguard Mott and then down to Bogtown was to find, or to try and reach with the Mother of Toads to get information about a dream that Sir Yvain had, right? Mm-hmm. What was that dream in relation to, in broad strokes? What was the...
in broad strokes, there were sort of two parts to the dream, and one of them seemed to involve frogs overwhelming a pillar that supported a light that we believe to be a sort of symbol of froglings overwhelming Helix. And then the other involved a spawning pool for the froglings that was the both their graveyard and their birthplace, and a massive pure black toad that was looking at, and a monolith oak.
Yes.
Both of those were at that spot.
Yeah. Monolith oaks being a particularly unusual type of tree that seems to, well, for one, it's got a couple of unusual properties, one of which is that as the tree ages, it effectively petrifies and becomes closer to stone. And the second thing is that it does seem to be, they seem to grow in well, either they grow in places of power or places of power kind of localize around them. Yeah, and then in the time as well too, I think it was Sir Yvain who was approached. Was it Sir Yvain or no? It was Wes. Wes was approached by Valeron, the elf from the Thornswild Elves, not the Weirdwood Elves, but the Thornswild Elves, and he had asked him to try and contact Serene, or the gnomes that he had worked with, the Spectre Hunters or whatever they were called. In addition, you guys had some other things to deal with, so maybe let's do this. So what we're going to be dealing with tonight is, last session we had our heroes making their way. Let me just move some people out of the way here who are not here. Oh, there we go. There we go. Big cast of characters. Love it. So the I think the session will start with. Let's start with what you guys think happened after the lot of you, Angus and Buka and Zuko and Bargle, made their way in, staggered into the Brazen Strumpet, covered in mud, somewhat wet with that, what did get soaked in the grotto of the Mother of Toads became basically like frozen, so it'd be nearly completely frozen by the time you guys reached here because of leaving the kind of humid depths of the grotto to reach back up into the cold winter weather here. You guys were quite eager to go, kind of bursting in. What do we think happens after you guys reach the Brazen Strumpet like that? We'll kind of let's talk about what happened that evening first.
Well, Zuko's going to spend a certain amount of time warming himself by the fire.
Yeah.
Trying to dry every bit of him out. But then he's probably going to find Sir Yvain just because, he's got so much to tell him about what we saw and find out what happened while he was gone.
Well, I think what you guys find as well is that as you make your way towards Helix, you find that the snow is quite thicker, or quite deeper than you remember it, and it's still snowing. So it is, it does seem like you're kind of, what you will find out as soon as you get inside is that there's a brutal blizzard that's going to be blowing in and basically keep you guys, leave the roads impassable for the next, at least certainly they're not safely navigable in the next 24 hours, perhaps 48 hours. But you can at least try and dig your way through it after that. So Sir Yvain, I think, is likely there then. I think everybody is there, to be honest. Everyone is kind of cooped up in anyone who isn't going to spend money at the, the Foul Pheasant for gambling and women or men is going to be probably in the Brazen Strumpet. So Zuko gets in there and is kind of warming himself by the fire. What would Angus make of this, having suddenly made his way here?
Well, Angus has never actually been to Helix before, right? Because he was in Ironguard Mott. So he is, as the mother of Toads said, Angus the Confused. He's definitely more than a little out of it, but he's definitely going to follow the guys into the tavern and warm himself up and get better, and then probably try to stick with Zuko and Argyle and the rest of them.
Well, I think the introductions would be done as well too, between Angus and like the other members of the party, because everyone else who seems to be hired on there would have been, I think the core members, as it were, would be doing the introductions to each other. Mm-hmm. What does Druk, do you think he's been doing? It's probably only, I'm not even sure, like, enough. This is about like the day after the the day after the events at the Shrine of Orcus is when you guys went and spoke to Brother Othar, and you discovered that there was that marking on the ground in the tower, right? Okay. And I think then the day after that we haven't seen that, so this is probably that evening, like the evening before. So we're now kind of, the timeline is caught up for everybody. Everyone's back on the same calendar now. What would Druk be doing right now?
So this is after the incident with the tree, or before? After
the incident with the tree, after everything that's happened to Druk so far. I think that the last thing that happened to him and that group was that when Sir Yvain went to go and speak to Brother Othar and Sela to see if it was Gamdar or not, they discovered that Gamdar was gone, and they discovered that mark on the ground as well too, though they could not tell whether
I think that was the night before the second round with the tree, actually, because there were I think the last thing that happened was actually we chopped down the tree and did the fight with the Orcus demon, and then had the party afterwards.
Right. Okay. So this is probably, we'll say that these guys are staggering into that party.
All right.
Okay. So that's sort of where we'll pick everyone up. Like, you come back, there's this massive triumph, and I make that kind of like dramatically pacing fits, because we've got one group that is coming back from this amazing triumph, and then another group is coming back, with some answers, but perhaps more mysteries as well. So so that's sort of the scene. As everyone's coming in, there's a big party that the new group kind of walks into, and that Zuko walks into. So we'll say that. So Sir Yvain, what Arlen, fill us in on where Sir Yvain's kind of mind is right now.
Sir Yvain, if I remember, the plan at the party was to drink himself into oblivion, basically.
Nice.
And that's how he blacked out and found out the next morning that he's the life of the party.
Yeah.
So he is definitely, I think, it's kind of a sort of, he's excited to see Zuko and Bargyle and everybody else and have them there, but he's still he's kind of feeling the cost of what's happened and the significance of all of that.
Okay.
Especially because he's got his fangs now.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
And Druk's likewise living it up for the moment, because he's got revenge for his dog, and then he's gonna have to figure out his place in the town after that. So he's probably a little bit more broody than Sir Yvain.
Okay. So he's brooding. And remind us why Sir Yvain has those fangs now.
So Sir Yvain completed the religious ritual to destroy the power of this tree that was a shrine to Orcus, utilizing a single tooth of Saint Yig. In the immediate aftermath, Sir Yvain attempted to, by himself and with the help of his companions, to save the saint's relic, to continue to have it be a powerful preservative for Helix, because our belief is that that's basically what's keeping the undead away from Helix, and maybe even the froglings too. And so Sir Yvain succeeded at a cost to everyone, because it was he got fangs and Druk got kind of like hair on his arms and stuff and kind of feral looking,
Yeah,
right?
he looks a bit more feral, yeah.
And Roan Scarshorse has a constant bleeding from.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So you guys are, yeah, that's the state. Zuko, I guess it sounds like you find Sir Yvain in a fairly extreme state of inebriation, which is not a state you've ever seen him in before, I don't think.
Yeah, Zuko does not know what to make of it, but he thinks he likes it.
Okay. Does Zuko, practice his newly found bardic skills? Do you think he's in a mindset to do that, or is he more contemplative?
He's still a bit singed and whatnot from all the. I'd roleplay it as all the knowledge has been shoved in his head.
Sure.
With where he has to, later on he'll stumble across it as he sorts through it.
Yeah.
But so he's trying to focus through it.
Okay.
And not overwhelm himself.
Okay. So then, unless there's anything else you guys want to happen at the party, we can kind of fast forward to the next morning then. We can fill in flashbacks what's happened with the other characters as the guys join us, but the long and the short of it seems to be that, Zuko seems to have a more, quiet evening. Sir Yvain has sort of a boisterous evening, but it seems that desperate, kind of, I'm having such a good time. I don't think you are, buddy. I think you're one beer off from a crying fit. Morning comes, and let's start with Sir Yvain, I guess. So what do we see as morning comes to Sir Yvain? And let me just turn down the. There we go. We'll turn down that. And let me see here.
So I'm imagining Sir Yvain slept in, about half of his armor, the stuff that he couldn't actually get off.
Yep.
Wakes up feeling just horrible, of course, as you do after a night like he had. Not just because he didn't get any rest because of the armor, but also because, of course, he has a pretty wicked hangover.
Yeah.
And he sort of slides out of the bed and just kind of sits there for a minute.
Okay. I think your eyes naturally turn towards the window again, too, half expecting to see the crude, marking or crude approximation of the holy symbol of Arcantril there again that you had seen, but again, just frost. And if you walk over and spare a look out the window, you can see that it looks like almost the entire village is buried in snow, and there is thick, heavy snow coming down. Big, thick, wet flakes that come down so thick that it really obscures the far side of the village. So normally from where you're sitting, you can see all the way over to, the farm, some of the farmhouses that are at the edge of it, completely obscured in white at this point. So, what happens next?
So I think Sir Yvain is going to he's going to finish taking off the rest of his armor and putting it on the stand and get down to his kind of like, tunic and trousers and all of that sort of stuff. And then he's going to take his sword and begin his morning prayers to Arcantril.
Okay.
Kind of do his best to center himself.
Sure.
And then head downstairs.
Okay. What does Zuko's morning look like?
I guess he would have just curled up near the fireplace because that's the warmest spot in the town, and all the snow around him is a little weirding him out.
Yeah.
So I suppose if he wakes up before Sir Yvain, which is unlikely, he'd probably just order some food and wait patiently to see him because he's old as he got a lot to tell him.
Okay, so you're probably seeing a lot of, people. The things you're seeing in the common room on the ground floor are, there's a couple of people who are slowly dragging their asses down from, the long night, either out from the big common room where people can all stay together, or from one of the rooms upstairs. Everyone looks pretty rough. It seems like it was quite the rager the night before. You see at one point the door open. You know, well, actually, there's probably one or two times you see the door kind of open. And I think what you also see is as the morning starts, you see that Alistair and Mr. Paggins were actually allowed to sleep inside today. So they got up and they've gone out as well too. You can see Bala is coming back in, having shoveled out sort of the first, the entryway to the strumpet. But even you can hear him loudly complaining, like, "I'll be shoveling every hour out there. God, it's coming down. The wrath of Ymir on us." And at one point, Zuko, you do see Sella, the acolyte from the Church or the Shrine of Saint Yig, come in, and she talks to Ballo, and then passes a note over, and nods, thanks, takes some food from him, and then heads out. Which is not, you've seen her do, come in and grab food before, but it seemed like she was fairly intent on speaking to someone. Would you have bothered to try and listen in on that, do you think, or were you really not concerned with what was, what was going on?
Well, Zuko is naturally nosy by nature, so yes.
Yeah. Oh, so we got in chat. Sorry, Luck Dragon. First of all, thanks for joining us in chat. We're running this as an open sandbox, so the characters are going where they're choosing to go. We have the first chapter of the campaign did spend time in the actual Barrowmaze itself, but we're going where the story goes with us. So my apology if you're looking for a session or a campaign where all we're doing is just going through the dungeon itself. That's not what we do. So we've expanded on a lot of the material that's in there. The Barrowmaze is going to be is a central part of the campaign, but it's the vast majority of our time thus far has not been spent in there. So my apologies if that's not what you're looking for. But anyway, sorry, were you going to listen in there, Zuko, or not? So was that no or yes? Yes. Okay, go ahead. Give me a perception roll, please.
Steve.
Nice, nat 20. Holy smokes.
Very.
Okay, so what you hear is you hear that. Well, I mean, you'd hear almost everything that she is saying. So basically, she's asking that Sir Yvain come and speak to Brother Othar once he rises and once he makes his way over. So, yeah. But that is that's the extent of the conversation. And there's a little bit of like, how's he doing? Have you guys seen Gamdar? And she sort of brushes, no, maybe he's out. It sounds like she's giving they're making excuses for his absence at this point, which makes you think. I don't know. I'm trying to think. Does Zuko doesn't know that it was Gamdar, does he?
So, only met Gamdar once, and that was before the tree thing.
Right, so this is where, so I mean, like, you can take from the context of the conversation that Gamdar seems to be missing now, which is new news to you. So
Saddens Zuko a little bit. In this weather, it's not likely he'll survive if he's missing.
No, certainly not. It's really cold out there. So, and around that point, we'll say that Sir Yvain comes down as well, too. So you finish your morning rituals, your prayers. You're feeling still a little, you're headachy, but, well, let's do this. Why don't you give us a fortitude save? Let's see how badly you overindulged last night. 25. Now, I think that's probably good enough. Let's take a look at your level. Yep. So you, I mean, you're feeling it. You're feeling hungover. That fatigue that comes with it, that dull ache, but it's not like you're not getting the spins. You're not feeling nauseous or anything like that. So, what happens as he staggers down into the common room?
Well, Zuko, knowing that Sir Yvain is overindulged, he goes, "Sir Yvain!"
And then what happens?
Then Sir Yvain kind of sits down heavily at one of the tables and gestures for Zuko to come over.
Zuko hops down and shuffles over and sits down and says, "You look different."
Feel a little different.
What happened?
It's a long and fairly complex story, and not for all ears.
Our Gamdar was missing.
Gamdar is missing.
With the perception roll, I'm going to let you roll forward that perception roll. You can see when he says Gamdar is missing, you can hear the tensing of his glove.
Yep.
Ooh. Anyway, we met the mother of toads.
You did. The mother of toads.
I don't think she's human.
Well, did you learn anything?
I think we learned a lot, each of us a little bit. But we learned, my friend Angus around here, he knows some locations of some petrified monolith oaks, and perhaps the location of the breeding pool.
Yeah, I'm trying to think here. Who it was? It was Angus. Angus learned where the breeding pools are. Yeah, or where the monolith that monolith oak is. Yeah, and then Bargle learned some information about it from the mother of toads.
So Zuko says, I asked for knowledge and power, and I got a little bit too much. So we didn't die, though.
Getting a little too much sounds a bit like what's been going on here.
So what else? I mean, like, what do we see happen here with the rest of the conversation, guys? Is there? We can role play this through if you like, or we can just hit some highlights of, what your characters already know, or how you guys communicated to each other.
I suppose.
Yeah, it seems like highlights. I think Sir Yvain is going to suggest that we eat something and then go back up to his room, and he'll explain to Zuko what has gone on in his absence, basically, which involves both trips out to the tree, and the discovery of Gamdar's perfidy.
He's most likely dead now, right? The blizzard would probably kill him.
I'm not sure we can count on that, Zuko.
Well, I'll blow him up next time I see him.
I'm sure you will.
But Zuko starts telling him about the trip to Iron God and Mott, finding the guy with the dress on, the witch hunters, the shadow hand, and then how there was an owlbear that ate his horse.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Jeez. Your horses. I think you guys left your horses in the middle of the Barrowmaze, didn't you?
Yep.
Mine was dead, so meh. Then he tells them about the dwarven friend he made in Bogtown, and it pretty much catches up to speed. Like, next time you should come along. It's you're a good distraction.
So let's while those two are kind of getting themselves caught up, let's check in on Druk and Angus. So what are those two up to for today?
Druk would have made himself useful around town, just to be useful at this point. It's kind of what happens after you get your revenge, but you don't know what to do with yourself.
Yeah.
So he's probably out there like helping shovel snow and get the paths reopened and looking for Bargle.
Okay. Looking for Bargle. Do you mean Bingle? Or is that I think that was
bounty hunting.
Yeah. How about Angus? What was now that he finally has made his way to Helix, what was Angus going to be up to today?
Well, I'm guessing that Angus is. So I'm imagining, because he has basically no money, that he slept in the common room. So he kind of wakes up and gets some food in him, and then he's gonna see the sights of the town, such as they are. kind of go around to all the different places and figure out what's going on. Probably try to figure out if there's any place that he could, do some work to get a little bit of cash, because otherwise he's going to be in pretty dire straits at some point if he can't,
So what I can tell you guys is for today, I mean, there's going to be about 4 days when the road, it's either going to be snowing, so it's just you really can't go on the road, or the roads will be so clogged with snow that you really can't safely set out another caravan. And what I thought was that we could take advantage of the downtime rules, because we actually haven't used those yet since we kicked off this campaign. So what I'm looking at is the options from the core rulebook, which are found on page it's Game Mastery. They are on, here we go, that's getting Game Mastery. Exploration mode, downtime mode is page 481. And then there is one great downtime action that was Flame had it called. He asked if what do you call it? So he says, I think you're going to do some downtime. Chapter 9. So all right, where are we here? And then the player's guide. There's a great one for the player's guide for 8. Was it the what is it called? Embers of Ashes or something like that? Whatever the first adventure path is. There is another one which is basically making friends with what do you call it? With locals, to try and improve your here we go, Age of Ashes. There we go. There is one in there, and so that is an option as well. Okay. And while we're waiting for the other guys to join, what do we talk about this first day? What sort of... We'll jump into like role-playing scenes as, is appropriate here, but let's talk about what you guys are going to do for the day. Now, one of the things, again, you can do is you can earn money, right? So you mentioned that Druk might want to try and earn some coin here. Well, that is on page 236.
Well...
so what do you think that... what do you think he'd be using to try and earn income here?
Seems like crafting is the most likely thing.
Well, I'm asking for the character. Like, I don't know whether he's actually trained. For Druk, I don't know if Druk is trained in crafting or not.
Oh no, for Angus or for Druk?
For Druk, because I think John, didn't you say that's what Druk was going to do? Is try and earn.
Angus around town helping people, and Angus was going to be.
Oh, sorry, forgive me. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So then, Angus, he's going to be crafting. What can he craft? He's got no feats to specialize his stuff, right?
He can do the kind of hard work manual labor that a trained craftsman can't. He doesn't have any... does he have any feats to specialize? Let me see.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think he has any particular. So he can do kind of basically manual labor, I think.
Can't you craft a scroll?
You know what there'll be? There are... Sorry, he's trying to craft a scroll?
I was asking if he could craft a scroll.
Well, he's got no money, and you need... Right, because crafting...
I was wondering, you have to be trained with a feat to do that, or just spend the money
I think you can automatically scribe a scroll, but I don't know.
It looks like there's prices listed for levels.
Well, let's take a look here. You know what? We certainly got time to explore this stuff today. Yeah, I didn't say anything that you specifically... I mean, I think you need to know the spell that you're trying
to craft a scroll, much like crafting the other magic item.
I think so, yeah. So
yeah, it says you have to spell slot to do it, so you can't do it from a magic item.
Okay. So which makes sense. I mean, knowing how to trigger something in a half cast spell is a little different than actually knowing how to create it, or how to the intricacies of the magical architecture behind the spell. So why don't you give us a let's see here, earn an income. So to take on a job, let's see here. I secretly set the DC of the skill check. I love this test already. After your first day of work, you roll to determine your earnings. You gain an amount of income based on the result, the task level, and your proficiency rank. So what's Angus's rank in crafting?
He is trained.
He's trained, okay? So I think it's not... I think probably... I'm looking at the map here, and there does seem to be quite a few places that have what look like to be fairly rickety roofs. So, I think you to avoid them collapsing, you would need to get on the roof, shovel them off, and then do some kind of patch repairs if needed. So I'll put that as a level 1 task.
It sounds like the work for 2 people.
I think there's ample work to go around in that count. Yeah, there's definitely...
If Druk meets up with Angus, Druk has a decent athletic skill. He could, shovel the snow off the roof and...
I think I'd allow that, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of stuff is balancing on the roof and kind of getting yourself up there and climbing through. I can speak from experience. It fucking sucks trying to climb on a roof full of packed snow. Fortunately, you have a soft fall if you fall off, so there's that.
Only if the snow's deep enough.
So let's do this then. Angus, you can make either a crafting to reflect you kind of helping to repair the any of the damage that's occurred from just the accumulated snow, or you could just make a flat athletics check to reflect your putting your muscle into it to just clear these areas off.
Let's do crafting.
Okay.
Roll that. Oh, look at that.
Okay.
Roll.
Let me turn it over here. Boom. Nice. Very nice. Okay, so let's see here. Take the job, blah, 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 blah. So the DC is set by your level. So for those listening at home, this is one of those DCs that is set by level, not by level of proficiency, because it's a kind of a contested thing against that. And you're so close to a crit. You're so close to a crit for it. But you do get a success. You competently prepared it. You earn a whopping 2 silver pieces for your troubles.
Well, that's better than nothing.
It certainly is. And Druk, why don't you give me a... you were thinking there's going to be more athletics?
Yeah, going around shoveling snow and helping Sir Yvain out a bit.
You got it.
Athletics.
Yep. So this is our first day here. Oh, so you're shoddy work. You do shoddy work and get paid the bare minimum for your time.
Okay.
So you get 2 copper pieces. Basically what you do is you half dig down a lot of the areas, so there's still there's giant peaks and troughs and whatnot of the snow, so you've kind of got rid of the top layer, but that's really bits and pieces of it, but it's not by any means cleared. So
it does not
no. Now how about
We've never done it.
what about Sir Yvain and Zuko? What are they doing for this day? I'm going to change the music as well too, because this is not creepy stuff. I think everything I've got loaded for this campaign is all creepy stuff. So give me a sec here. Let's see if I can find something a little more things. While you guys consider, what do you think you're going to do?
Well, Zuko would probably craft a scroll of some sort.
Okay.
Just because healing comes as a priority, and he's noticed how often people need it.
So the materials you would need to purchase for that would need to come from somewhere.
Yeah. So in town, would they have parchment and ink and?
I think it's the fact that it's more than just ink. There is specific stuff you need in order to put that.
I don't know.
Yeah, Mazius the Magnificent is the person you may need to hit up in order to access that stuff.
Okay.
Let me see here. So what you would want to do, remember that Mazius is the guy who's kind of a, jerk.
I don't think I've ever met him. So.
No, you haven't? Okay, so he's you see that big tower over on the sign? Let's see here.
The one with the telescope?
Okay, we got here's our wintertime Wonderland music for the time being. Let me turn down. What's up here? Oh, anxiety is turned up. Let's start this up here. One sec, guys. Tell me that doesn't evoke wintertime frolicking.
Zuko was an ice mage. Be impressed.
All right, so what? The reason I mentioned that is because like the general store probably doesn't have that stuff, but Mazius certainly would, and that would give you an opportunity to take advantage of that thing to try and improve your standing with him. So that is, and let's see here. Befriend a local is the thing. So you make your check. On a success, you increase the favor of the NPC, and it lasts for a number of weeks equal to your charisma modifier, minimum 1 week. And if you get a critical success, then it lasts. It seems like it might last forever. So currently, he's not a great. How do you think? So what we can picture is that Zuko has been asking around about these supplies, and you likely hear from one of the other, one of the other wizards around here, maybe Bargle, maybe someone else who happens to be staying here, one of the other adventuring companies, that Mazius seems to be the one who has those supplies. He orders that stuff in bulk, and if you can convince him to sell it to you, he'll sell you what you need at a reasonable rate.
So I found out like he's a wizard?
He is a wizard, yeah, and you can see, that tower that's on the outside of town with that strange contraption on the top of it? That's where Mazius lives.
Okay. So Zuko's thinking old wizard, stuffy, flatter him a lot.
Well, here's what you could do. If you wanted, you could spend some downtime or some of your exploration mode time gathering information.
I can do that, yeah.
Right? You could do a diplomacy to ask around. So let's see. Why don't you give us a diplomacy check here, and we'll see how things are going.
Zuko is good at
24, pretty good. Okay, so what I think you find is that, first off, he is a crotchety old coot. He's been here for quite a while. As much as there is this, these apparently like riches and magical items and secrets to be found in the Barrowmaze, he has not really. He's never been an explorer. He's come here to do something else. There's something else that occupies his interest, to the point where he is tolerant of some other member or some other inhabitants of Helix, but he really dislikes adventurers in general. He finds me a pain in the ass and whatever. And then on top of that, he also is just not he's a fairly objectionable person anyway. Oops. Oh shit! So Jeff is caught in snowpocalypse. Let's see here. I can't get my internet up and running. The dishes are probably caked with snow. Getting a different ISP this weekend, so hopefully my troubles will be gone. Oh fuck! Sorry to hear, Jeff. I mean,
I've got DSL, so.
Yeah, well, we just got we got hit with that snow earlier this week with our Snowmageddon. I had a snow day on Monday, so I think
I volunteer to take some for snow.
Yeah,
I want some.
You were welcome to it. So I guess so. Jeff isn't going to make it tonight, I guess, because of the internet shit that sucks. But you're here in spirit, Jeff. So, Zuko, that's what you sort of know, and I'm trying to think if that's a good enough for. No, it's not a crit, because even a level 1 DC would be a 15, so it's not quite. You're just like Angus's work is just on the cusp of that. So does that help inform you how to approach this guy, or help you?
Yes, it does. Zuko thinks so. We'll sway him like I sway everybody else. Knowledge, stories, flattery.
Okay. Well, he's quite a charming little goblin too. So.
Also a mage, so I'm not like the monk Badonk running around. I can offer him magic insights.
Well, actually, you're a sorcerer. Your stuff is instinctual.
Yeah, I know, but
so you really do you have training in Arcana?
The knowledge Arcana?
That's a no?
No, but I have Bardic Lord, so I can speak.
Yeah, that doesn't unfortunately help too much. But you are a spellcaster. The materials that you would use are the same as what he would use too. So that's probably who you want to speak to. You could, more natural items could probably be found if you were in touch with one of the druids that apparently occupies the Blackened Forest, but, you know, in this weather, you're certainly not getting there. Even getting yourself to the tower, or Mazius's tower, is going to be a bit, you know, a bit of a chore.
I haven't tried. But
what I will say is that the, you know what, with a roll that good, I will let you know as well that he's been having food delivered in this bad weather, and it turns out that someone is intending on running food over. It's probably Tacey who tells you that, the red-haired barmaid.
maybe I could volunteer to take it to him.
If you're volunteering to go out in this snow, you know, that's fine. Just, he likes his food hot, so you're going to have to keep it over your head, little guy.
That is not a problem.
Nice. Okay, so let's, I guess maybe what we're seeing then is if Zuko's ready to go over, we can do the scene of you kind of, you know, trucking through the snow. We can see your little, you know, ears, and your little red hat is very quickly caked in snow. What do you, like, are you doing anything to kind of clear the way?
I have this fun new spell that I've gotten, called Flaming Sphere.
Well, Flaming Sphere will leave scorch marks pretty much everywhere and potentially set shit on fire.
Yeah,
but
just in snow.
If you want to make use of that, sure. I mean, I think that for you could have run basically a clear path over there. It's not super far from the Brazen Strumpet over to Mazius's tower.
Yeah. He'll only use it when it's like really deep.
Okay.
Maybe get close enough to keep the food warm.
Sure. Yeah, and the difficult thing for Zuko is that, you know, at 3 feet tall, this is pretty. Yeah, this is like 2/3 his height already. You know, and the snow's still falling, so he, you know, at one point kind of clears things away. And you find yourself at the door of Mazius the Magnificent, and it's this heavy iron-shod oak door that seems to have a bunch of traps, or not traps, but locks on it as well. There's an overhang that is caked in snow right now, and there seems to be a little, like a slat that can be opened up to look and see where people, you know, who's at the door.
Cool. And Zuko knocks.
Okay. Whack, 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 whack. And there's a bit of a wait, and then you finally hear from the far side of the door. It's muffled by the thickness of the door. Who is it?
He goes, "Oh, great and powerful wizard, I have come with your dinner."
Okay. You hear chuck, 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 and then the door kind of creaks open, and you see this man who's kind of hunched over. He has, you know, like one eye is a little big, one eye is smaller. He's wearing huge silver furred robes on his back. He's like, "Come in, wait, you're not Tacey."
No, I am Zuko.
What are you here for?
I offered to help Casey out, deliver food for you today.
He kind of looks at you. I didn't know that Bala was hiring your kind.
Oh, no, they didn't pay me. I volunteered.
Well, get in before it gets cold.
Walks in, shoveling quickly.
Okay. Oh, and as you're stepping by, he says, shake your feet off. And he closes the door.
One foot shakes it, the other foot shakes it.
Okay, and he rubs his hands together, walks over towards you. I'll take it from here. And brings it into sort of a side room, which seems to be the kitchen in the tower. And he looks back and he says, well, what are you waiting for?
Well, I was hoping to have a conversation with you.
Go. Can't you see that I'm busy? Busy! I don't have time for frivolous conversations with idle goblins.
Idle? But I made such a special trip out to see you.
Oh. Why don't you give us a diplomacy check, please?
Ooh, nice.
Let's see here. Trying to grab the thing here. Let's see, Age of Ashes. Okay, so how'd you do? Oh, that's good. Okay, so It's not a crit, but it is a success. So let's. So he looks down. What? You came all here just to talk to me?
Yes.
Why?
I heard you are a powerful wizard and that you have supplies for the crafting of magical items.
What would that be of a concern to you, Goblin?
I am skilled with magic.
Oh?
I have a bit of the primal magic and a bit of the occult magic. I know many things. Not as much as you, I suppose, but many things.
So he looks down at you. Show me. Show me something.
Well, maybe not something explosive, but...
And he steps forward. He says, I trust... let you know, Goblin, any destruction within my tower will be met with that in kind.
Yes, Zuko understands. So Zuko just like trails his arms around in a circle and fire, build a shield around him, and he goes and fades.
Yeah. He goes, Interesting. Unorthodox, of course, and quite untrained, but no doubt effective for your methods. And what is it you want? Or for your for your intent, I suppose. What is it you want, Goblin?
Zuko pauses for a moment to think, just to give emphasis to it, and says, I would like to take the first steps down the road to learning how to do it properly and learn to craft scrolls with my magic.
I offer... He gestures around. You think this is school of some kind?
Always time to learn, yes.
You tell me you are here to buy supplies, and now you are telling me you are here to pester me to try and teach you to put you on the path away from where you have been.
No, I can instruct myself if you had no have the time. I just need the materials.
Well,
you are free to critique if you like.
No. What you choose to do with these is your own business, Goblin. What is it you need, then? And we don't need to go into specifics of it. Whatever you're going to be purchasing from him, that's what you'll have asked him for. And he kind of, very well. You, of course, know you'll need leaden paint as well, too, or leaden ink infused with Arcanum.
So looks back and forth and yes. That sounds right, yes.
And he brings out the necessary materials for you, and he's got it wrapped up in kind of like a linen kind of, piece of cloth, and then maybe like wrapped around with a piece of twine. There you are. And he takes payment from you. So whatever you needed to spend for your, crafting your scrolls, just assume that the initial, the initial base cost is half the cost of whatever the thing is?
Yeah, it says craft a scroll level 1 is 4 GP.
Okay. So he takes that from you?
Yes.
You're not the one they call the Lucky Goblin, are you?
No, that's Badonk. He likes to hit things with his fists.
So there's two of you in town.
No one likes Zuko, but there are 2 goblins, yes.
Very well. Well, then, is there anything else you require?
No, I shall not waste any of your precious time.
Very well. Thank you for the food, Goblin. Please tell Casey and Ballo the same. And he opens the door for you. Try not to get lost in the snow, Goblin.
Will do. Would you like me to clear a path for you?
And he looks down and sees, it appears you've done that yourself already.
Going heavily. Might do it again later.
What was your name again?
Zuko. And he stands up straight.
All right, Zuko. Good day. When he closes the door behind him. So, mechanically, he is indifferent to start, because he's just a dick. So what you've managed to do is to move him from
really
that.
Good then.
Yeah, it's a neutral. So you met him in neutral, so he was willing to actually sell you shit. And that'll what is your charisma bonus?
4.
4 weeks. You got a month worth of Mazius being okay with you. You can choose to try and improve that again too. It's just that you can only do that. Let's see here. Like, normal improving is once a day, and I don't know if you can try that again tomorrow or not, but let's see. Oops, shit, no, I don't want GURPS open. Come on, fucking character builder. Let's see.
I
don't see anything that's saying you can't, so if you choose to do that, then I'm fine with you, trying it again tomorrow, if you can think of a reason to, you know, to get back to Mazius.
I think I've got 4 weeks of indifference from usual dick,
it's actually 4 weeks of neutral.
Oh, neutral, okay.
You can remember, indifferent is like, hostile is the worst, and then indifferent, and then there's neutral, friendly, and I can't remember what the other one is.
Probably ally.
Oh, maybe. I don't remember what the... whatever. It's not important for now. So, then...
He'll probably try again in a little bit, but he doesn't want to ruin it now, because critical failures probably suck.
Yeah, and they really do. Okay, so let's talk about Sir Yvain. What is Sir Yvain intending to do today?
So, Sir Yvain, in the fiction, I think he's going to ask Brother Otar to use the library for a while to do some research.
Okay.
Mechanically, what I want to do...
What is he trying to research?
Mechanically, what I want to do is trade out... I want to retrain a feat so that I can be trained in occultism.
Okay, so that'll be... that's a week. Yeah,
right?
that's your whole week, so that's fine. Yeah, absolutely. So we see a snowy montage of you know, poring over books. And what is it you're doing? You're switching from...
I'm switching from dubious knowledge, which doesn't seem that useful to me, to be honest.
Okay.
Well, to me...
Well, you have a bit of a different style, Zuko, than Sir Yvain does.
Mm-hmm.
Zuko can help teach you occultism since he's trained in it.
Sure. Yeah, maybe in the evenings you can help me learn some stuff around the table at the Brazen Strumpet. But I'm trading that for a skill training feat that allows me to become trained in occultism.
Okay, excellent. All right, so that is what Sir Yvain is doing. You do get a message, Sir Yvain, as well, too, from Balo in the morning that Brother Othar wants to speak to you as well.
And I, of course, will go and meet him.
Okay. So while you're going over to... Maybe let's role play through that. So you were heading over to speak to Brother Othar because he... well, I mean, you want to gain access to the library, and he has said that he is going to... what do you call it? He said he wanted to talk to you. So you make your way into the... you know, into the... shrine, and what you find is the two of them are, I think, busy at work preparing meals for like outlying communities or for outlying farms. They want to run stuff out to make sure that like the outlying farmsteads are doing okay once the blizzard breaks. And when you know, you find them in the kitchen working away on this stuff, and Brother Othar looks over at you and says, "Oh, Sir Yvain, well met."
Yes, it's good to see you up and about.
Thank you. It feels good to be up and about, and well, I mean this weather. He looks around at the kind of package that they've started putting together. He says, "It feels good to have a task. A task. Yes, and there was a reason I wanted to speak to you, Sir Yvain. And I think there's probably like 2 local women who were helping Sela with this stuff and helping Brother Othar with this stuff. And he sort of, you know, gestures at Sela, and Sela says, of course, you know, kind of nods and as if to say, we've got this, you can go ahead and talk to him. So Brother Othar leads you out into the kind of the main area where the services are performed. And you can feel, I think there's probably a lingering moment of eye contact between yourself and Sela as well, too. You know, before you kind of, you know, almost walk into a door and then you turn and you know, walk back out to see, speak to Brother Othar. So he, Brother Othar walks, you know, kind of leads you as far away from to the far end of the room, basically, to make sure that you are not overheard by the women. And even then, he still keeps his voice in a slow hush or a hush as well. He says, I have given a great deal of thought to what to do about Gamdar, and it does seem likely that the armored figure that you described encountering in the north of town in the Blackened Woods was in all likelihood him. He deceived us for so long, and it's only by grace of Saint Yig and Arcantrell, and he kind of adds that as like an afterthought, that his perfidious threat or plot was revealed. I can't help but think that this weather, it only benefits wherever he may flee to. This only benefits him with an opportunity to reach safe harbor. Because you see, my brothers and sisters in Ironguard Mott, in Threshold, elsewhere in the north, none of them would know. If he fooled us, what would stop him from fooling them as well? I know that you found your last expedition to Ironguard Mott was cut short by an attack, or so Sella tells me. But word must get to Ironguard Mott, lest they be prey or they be deceived by Gamdar as well. If he is a cancer rotting from the inside of the faith, if he is an agent of the Black Goat, then my brothers must be warned.
Yes, that seems appropriate.
Unfortunately, until the weather clears, nothing to be done. I'm not certain even one of the elves' mounts, the bats, could even safely navigate this maelstrom of snow.
But as soon as it clears, we can make our way to Ironguard Mott.
And he nods. We ask so much of you, though you share not our faith. Is there... I trust you know if there is a way that we can properly express our gratitude, you will let us know.
Use of your library for a few days would be very excellent.
Of course. Of course. I think that Sella would quite enjoy your company in that time as well, given Gamdar's absence.
Of course.
And he takes your hand as if, in that fatherly kind of like knowing way. When it does clear, Sella and I intend to visit some of the nearby farmsteads to ensure that they were not caught by surprise by this sudden late winter fall. Was there anything else, or would you like to gain access to the library?
No, just the library, I think.
The mind thirsts. I understand it. Though, as he stands up, he kind of groans. I think that the sound of my mind thirsting used to be louder than the aching of my bones. This weather does no favors to those in advancing years. I trust you know your way up there. I would prefer not to navigate the stairs again.
It's no trouble.
Then, I will leave you to your studies, and you will tell us if you need anything. And he turns. Blessings of St. Yeg upon you, as he's walking back into the kitchen. Okay. So you head up into your, to commence your studies. Now, we have a couple of other days. What about Angus, Druk, and Zuko? Maybe let's check back on their henchmen again. Druk and Angus, what are you guys thinking of getting up to today? Oh, there we go. Flame posted it too. Hostile, indifferent, neutral, friendly, helpful. Those are the states for characters. Well, we just did a survey. How about Druk? Let's check on Druk. What's Druk going to do?
Well, Druk wouldn't have much of anything to do except to try to earn money while he's in town. Nothing really pressing to do while the snows are in. And
sure. Give us another roll. Let's see how he does.
Let's see.
So athletics. Come on, Druk.
Yeah, let's do it. Oh, you know what? It's a 10 again?
So I think Druk is going to be... That option is no longer open to him. He'll have to find something else because he's doing a shit job day after day. They're not so desperate as to have someone who's just going to be throwing snow all over the place. So 2 copper pieces he earns from his troubles.
I'd opt to use a hero point, but I don't think that's appropriate.
I mean, you can. I'm not fussed. You're using up a resource. I'm less concerned about, like, hero points being spent on a heroic thing. It's a resource. If you choose to spend it on that, I'm fine with it. It means you won't have it at...
I just don't think it's appropriate in this situation. So.
Sure, that's fine. I mean, it's not a huge difference. Let's just take a quick look at what the cost is per day, too, just so we know how much you guys are... If you're earning money, we'll track the expenditures per day as well.
I think next he'll try and go into the woods and chop down some trees. Well, gather firewood, not chop trees down.
Okay. Yeah, the worst druid.
Nope, that's Warbin.
Yes, true. Warbin the traitor.
The betrayer.
The betrayer. Steve should be on any time now, actually, speaking of Warbin. Okay, cost of living. So you can... Now, normally, you could actually use I think it's your nature or something to try and live at subsistence, but because of the weather, that's just not really a viable option.
Yeah.
What you could do is,
We had decent survival, so maybe hunting? I don't know. Hey, Bargle!
Hey, Bargle's in.
Target of the bounty. My job is clear now.
Oh, you know what? Hold on, let me paste a link to the Hangout again.
I'm in.
You're in. Excellent.
Yeah.
Hey, George, what's shaking?
Hey, guys. And I'm ready to go.
Your camera is not on right now.
Oh.
Yeah.
It thinks it is. Hold on.
Oh, no, it could just be... Let me...
let me reconnect. I see myself.
Oh, you see... Yeah, I see everybody now.
Okay, great.
Yeah, let's stack up. So,
which characters are we playing?
Well, we're actually going through and doing some downtime stuff with everybody.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool.
So there's Raven, there's Bargle, and let's move them up so we can take a look here. So what we've done, maybe like what we'll do is we will back up just a scooch here because we've only done one day. We've done 1 day of... Oh, no, that's fine. How dare you take care of your offspring? Jeez.
My wife did it every other night this week as I played a game almost every night, so... Right.
Absolutely. So Jeff, in keeping with the weather, this is how much Jeff embraces the true RP element of this game. He is actually snowed in, so his internet is down.
Oh my god.
Yeah, all the discs apparently, because he's in a small town, so all the...
Meanwhile, it's burning down over here, so...
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a huge fire.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I'm fine, but...
Are you near LA?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I heard about that today.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh,
so the power outage they were doing to keep the high winds from causing fires. Well, it didn't happen there, but it happened down near LA.
Exactly.
Wow.
So,
shit.
Set up at the wrong spot.
Yeah.
So Jeff and I are doing the opposite things. We're in the opposite environments.
Get the full spectrum of climatic conditions in our campaigns. So the let's see. Let's first talk about maybe let's talk about Bargle. So Bargle has made his way back in here as well. When he got back, what he found was that in the Brazen Strumpet there was an enormous party. They were apparently celebrating, and if you asked around about it, Bargle and Sir Yvain have met each other, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, I think, Sir, what's the scene we see where Sir Yvain fills Bargle in, and what's happened?
So, is that that night or the next morning?
That night. We'll back up to that night. You've seen Zuko came in. We've seen what's happened with Zuko. Bargle has also come in that same night.
Bargle.
Sir Yvain, good to see you. It's been a while.
It is good to see you as well. We're all worried about the expedition. I hear you went to Ironguard Mott.
We did, and we then nothing out of the ordinary happened there. No problems. Everything was fine. I mean, no one got hurt. Everybody's alive. That's what I mean. I meant that. That's what I meant. I meant nobody was injured.
Important got hurt.
Fair point. We then went to Bogtown and from there set out to find the Mother of Toads, which we did. And I don't know if my companion had filled you in on that, but I can certainly tell you what we learned from her. But it was quite the experience. Let me tell you just that much.
We found out his true
Here.
wow.
What's that?
Oh, I'm not going to share a secret that Zuko learned that Sir Yvain does not need to hear.
Probably a good idea.
Am I right in thinking that, or right in remembering that Raven is Sir Yvain's half brother?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So then, what? I guess while Bargle's kind of trying to conceal what's happened or whatever, what is Raven? He's been here all this time. He didn't take part in the expedition out to deal with the Tree of Orcus. I think either time. But he's hearing about this now, and holy shit.
Yeah, no, it's crazy, but he's more concerned with the fact that it seems that his half-brother knows his target that he's been hunting for this whole time.
Wasn't his name Bongle, though?
Yes, but this seems... The description lines up. But maybe it's a twin brother situation or something. He's not quite sure. He's not very smart.
Raven, one other thing, because you know your brother quite well, even though you guys have spent, it sounds like much of your adult life apart, there's something that is different about him, like physiologically.
About Sir Yvain?
Arlen, you want to tell him what he sees?
Yeah, Sir Yvain. So Sir Yvain, in order to, and I'm imagining that he explains this is not sort of thing to tell somebody at a party, so this is an explanation that comes later. But Sir Yvain, in order to save a saint's relic, a tooth of Saint Yig, exchanged protecting that for having fangs. He's got basically like vampire fangs now.
Okay. I think he's going to notice that for sure.
Yeah.
Raven's like, brother, have you been turned? Are you a vampire? I heard about vampirism going on in this town. I didn't think it was real, but I don't know if you know this, but your teeth are fangs.
It's just the cost of doing my business out in the woods.
See, but that seems like what a vampire would say. So I don't know about it. So you can clearly see why Raven didn't make it into the clerical order.
Yeah.
So he's definitely concerned. He's like, I think I need to keep an eye on you. You look a little pale too.
Well, tell you what, Raven, that's a concern for another time. How about you have a drink and I'll have one, and we'll all have a good time tonight.
Okay, so Raven never takes his eye off Sir Yvain.
Okay.
Just in case something goes wrong.
And what does Bargle do? Would he have taken part in the big celebration, or would he have kind of...
It depends on if he thinks if he knows that he sees any shadow hands around. People he knows are definitely shadow hands. So that'll be for his first thing when he comes in is to check for that.
Yeah, okay, sure. So what's his perception bonus again?
His perception bonus, I believe it's either 8 or 9. Let me pull. I don't
Okay.
have him pulled up yet.
Yep.
But he's pretty good at it. If I'm remembering correctly, Bargle character sheet. He has perception of 9.
9. Okay. So
Really good at it.
you don't recognize any faces in here. I don't think he knows Raven. Like Raven's hunting him, right? But he doesn't necessarily know.
Right. He has no idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
Druk as well.
Oh yeah, Druk is as well. That's right. Druk and Raven were had served together somewhere near. I can't remember where it was.
It was in the north. In the north.
In the north, yeah, lands. Yeah. Yeah.
A bit changed as well, so.
As which story, John?
Druk appears a bit changed as well. He looks a bit more feral.
Yeah, Druk looks even different. He looks even more bestial than what you had seen before, or what he seemed before. He's got orcish blood in him, so he does. He obviously doesn't pass for a human at a glance, but he's looking even more savage.
I think Raven and Bargo have like opposite reactions to all of this. So Raven is very concerned and increasingly concerned.
Yeah.
He's not very experienced. So this all seems like, if you're on the edge of the Barrowmore and people start to change their appearance, probably not good. He thinks he's got a vampire and a werewolf in his midst. He's already seen the undead. This is a trifecta.
This is my slow way of transitioning this into Ravenloft or Innistrad. So
nice. And Bargo, at the same time, has seen crazy stuff. He's not concerned, but it's mostly because he's concerned about his own safety.
Sure.
From shadow hands or bounty hunters, but he has no idea that Raven's a bounty hunter or, in particular after him. So he kind of doesn't worry about him because he seems to be related to, or at least friendly with, Sir Yvain, who Bargo trusts.
Yeah.
So
you can picture that it's basically, like the entire party seems to be here by now. The only people who are missing are the 2 hirelings that you guys took on in Ironguard Mott's. And I think what we'll say is that when Buka decided to make the run for Bogtown, he told them to meet them in Helix. So everybody's characters and backup characters are all in Helix now.
Wow,
So
it's like
because of the snow.
Yeah, but unfortunately,
Right.
it has been. We're starting off. There's a blizzard that came in just as you guys were getting back into town. So you're basically trapped for 4 days at least, and so we're doing some downtime stuff. And also, we want to take some time to talk about strategy for what you guys want to do next, what the various characters want to tackle next. So Yvain is studying for the week to shift some skills, or shift a feat, I should say. Angus is doing manual labor. Druk is trying to do manual labor, but somewhat unsuccessfully so far. He does the job of shoveling that I did as a 12-year-old. Just like, I'll just do a bad enough job and they won't ask me to do it again. So
that tends to work.
He was trying his hand at crafting a scroll.
Interesting. And that'll take, I think it takes a week at least, doesn't it? Like, crafting takes quite some time in
sounds
in this.
right. Mm-hmm. Something like that.
Okay. So, but what about Bargle? So, first off, let's take a step let's shift the focus onto Bargle for a moment. How's he feeling about the encounter with the Mother of Toads? And was he tasked with something as well?
Yeah. So, he, in terms of his feeling, he kind of feels he's got mixed emotions. So, he feels like he's unlocked a piece of the mystery that they've been trying to discover for quite a bit of time, and that just feels intellectually satisfying to him. That's the way his mind tends to work. Emotionally, he's kind of he was freaked out during the encounter, but now that it's over, he feels a huge sense of relief because he felt like he sort of communed with somebody who he was able to tell the truth to for the first time in a really long time. And he's been lying and lying and lying to all of these people. So it was a weird sensation. It makes him feel like he wants to do more of telling the truth. But he's told so many lies now that it's like hard as soon as you pull a thread. Yeah. So he's kind of not sure. But he totally trusts his companions, especially after that encounter with her, because they all had to be so incredibly unified. Yeah. Werbin. Yay, Steve.
Hey, Steve O's here too. Nice.
So So he's got weird. He's kind of in a weird state of mind because he also knows shadow hands. He's got a black mark is still on his hand. Let's not forget.
Yep.
So he's got that covered. So he's yes, he does appear from the shadows. So he's also still paranoid. So he's got a mixture of things going on. But what he knows he wants to do now that there's downtime is he wanted to try to learn some additional spells.
Okay.
He doesn't know if he can do that here. If there's places to gather some research, but
not in Helix, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's what I figured. So that's fine. He's not sure what he wants to do.
Okay. So let's talk
just
about...
find out, basically.
Sure. So when Bargle sees in the course of that, that shindig, that party, when he sees Zuko and Sir Yvain, the paladin, talking to each other in what he calls in kind of like secretive or furtive kind of manners. Does he think at all, like, does he start feeling vulnerable having told, or made Zuko and the rest of and Angus and Buka aware that you're a murderer, you're a killer?
He doesn't because, so far, because he totally trusts them and he knows they're good people and he knows that they also have witnessed him actually trying to help people and like going out of his way to do the right thing, which is part of his nature. So he's kind of a little bit of a mystery as to like if he's not evil.
Okay.
He's chaotic selfish.
Steve-O, can you hear us, bud?
I sure can. Can you hear me?
I can, yeah.
Yes.
Outstanding. So, Werbin, we're picking up with the when you guys have just walked back into Helix. Oh, I'm getting some feedback from you, Steve.
How's that?
That's much better, I think. Okay. Yep, that's good. So what we're picking up is you walking back into you've walked back into Helix. You've joined this big shindig where Sir Yvain and Druk and some of the other folks are celebrating this big victory over this. Well, it was a thing. I can't remember. Was Werbin involved in that? I think he was, wasn't he?
Werbin
wasn't against the. No, again, yeah. You helped defeat or drive off at least that cultist of Orcus, but you didn't fight the avatar of Orcus, right?
I don't remember that.
No, because I think it was Roan who was there.
Yeah, it was Roan.
Yeah.
And that was the one representing the nature there, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah,
there was 4 of us. I thought there was 4 people.
Yeah, it was Druk and Roan and Sir Yvain. Was there a 4th?
I'm pretty sure there was because we had 4 positions we were filling.
It wasn't me.
Was there one woman that said it was woman?
I don't remember if he was there. It might have been only the 3 of you.
Could have been.
Because who doesn't want to fall? Face a demon god's manifestation.
Steve?
Oh, did I miss that one? Yeah.
I don't know, Steve. Do you remember fighting Orcus?
That one that escapes me. I don't remember.
Let me see here. I don't think.
Seems like that'd be memorable.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah. I mean, I fought so many dark gods. I mean, come on.
Exactly.
Give me something more to work with here. So this is what. Do you remember seeing this, Steve-O?
No, my.
No, I take that as a no.
Yeah. I remember seeing that picture, but I don't recall. No, I didn't fight that guy.
No, okay.
Yeah.
It's from the cover of the first monster manual for D&D 4. So that may be where you've seen it before, but just not in the context of this campaign. Okay, so then that tells me that so Werbin wasn't there. So Werbin, that's what you hear is that there's this massive, after you had gone out with them to face that armored, corrupted warrior. They then went back and when they were destroying the tree, they faced a manifestation or a fragment of this dark god or demon god. So they're just drinking up a storm. But you're also fresh from the Mother of Toads calling you
Who was there?
a betrayer.
Who was there?
But no, that didn't happen. No, we visited the Mother of Toads, and then all I remember is she was like really nice to us, and we left. That's what happened.
Okay. So you is Werbin going to join the celebrations, or is he going to kind of sit in the side, or what? What do you think?
Well,
happens?
he's kind of skulking, but he's going to put on a brave face. He's got his tail between his legs a bit, but he doesn't want the other guys to know that. So they'll go and hang out.
Okay. So Werbin is definitely enjoying several pints with the what do you call it? With Sir Yvain, who is indulging much more than he normally does. So on the day following that, what does Bargle intend to kind of do with his day?
Well, he has the task that was given to him by the Mother of Toads, which was to find this man with a red beard and a green eye, and to expose his treachery. So he's going to be on the lookout for somebody that matches that description.
Okay.
So that's going to be his kind of part of what he's doing. He also wants to look into crafting, creating a scroll, since he can't research any spells.
Okay.
But I'll look up the specific rules about.
Yeah, because I think that crafting does take. It does take time, right?
I'm checking that right now.
Sure.
It definitely takes time.
Like, you guys can feel free. There's no, I mean, apart from a pending invasion of Froglings, the threat of the Undead Guardians, the Cult of Orcus, whatever other surprise things out there, the Shadow Hands, the Dark, the Wyvern Druid. Is there anything else I'm forgetting here?
That seems pretty good.
The fortunate thing is the weather is so shit. You guys will have a solid week of downtime that we can talk about. If there's over the course of this week, is there any other? We know that Zuko's gonna be crafting. Bargo might be crafting as well too, and we won't go through the rigmarole. Zuko, you'll be able to purchase additional materials for Bargle, because I don't think Bargle's actually gone to speak to Mazius the Magnificent yet.
Oh yeah, I sucked up to him mightily, so he's indifferent.
Yeah. No, he's neutral now. I think neutral. Is that? I may be confusing the. Let's take a look.
I think the indifferent is the neutral one.
Is it the neutrals? Okay.
Yeah, because Flame Lord posted it in. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, so.
Yeah. Indifference and no. So help. Oh, I'm getting Stevo, sorry, I'm getting some feedback from you again, bud.
Where's the code from?
I think just because your laptop's mic is probably spiking up, trying to pick up when you're not talking.
Oh yeah, I'll just.
The gain is going up or down or whatever one makes you hear, or makes it pick stuff up more easily. Bargle is going to be crafting. Sylvain's doing that. Angus and Druk, anything interesting they want to do through the span of the week, or are they just kind of making, kind of just trying to get by with their money?
He'll probably try and go gather some firewood or whatnot, or something that isn't involving snow.
Okay. So, and what about Angus? Is he just, trying to earn a living?
No, I don't think there's anything particularly interesting. He's basically just trying to wait out the winter as such as he can.
So then what we'll do, guys, let's maybe shift this to a little bit more of a, hold on, Raven. Is there anything Raven is doing or has in mind while he's snowed in here?
He, two things he wants to keep an eye on his half brother, but he also wants to.
He's creeping behind him with a wooden stake.
He kind of.
Hey!
He kind of wants to go to the. There's only one church. There's only a church of St. Yig here.
The Shrine of St.
So
Yig.
he wants to go to the shrine and just try to ask about, what are the telltale signs of vampirism?
Okay. Yeah.
So
which is
can,
funny because
out.
Sir Yvain is studying there too. So like, there's going to be a moment where you're, tell me a little bit more about the signs of vampire, and then you hear him creaking down the stairs as he's going to get a new book, and you're like, never mind. So
that's awesome.
Okay, then let's do this, guys. Let's shift out of. First off, I guess the last thing, Werbin. Is there anything that Werbin wants to do while you're going to be snowed in for basically a week in Helix? Is there anything he wants to do during that period?
Werbin's going to be enjoying a few bottles of Foothills vodka, gluten-free and distilled in Creston.
Oh, there you go.
Very affordable.
Gluten-free.
Welcome to Nelson.
Yeah, jeez. Hold on, is there gluten? Forgive me for being a dummy here, but is there gluten in potatoes?
No, but often, as it turns out, vodka is made both from potatoes and wheat.
Oh, I see. Fucking cheats. There you go.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, let's see here. Craft like anything else.
Yeah, it doesn't give the time yet, so that's probably the craft.
Right, 4 days. No, John looked it up here. So 4 days to craft. Okay, cool. So then you guys, yeah. So it's half. Yeah.
I
So
gave Flame the credit. He posted in chat.
oh, yeah.
Oh, great. That's nice.
Okay.
So and you do it in batches of 4 for consumables, so you wind up doing 4 of the same level. 4 scrolls of the same level.
Yeah,
oh, cool, great. Yeah, and then so it's I think it's you get to 4 days, and then you have the choice of just paying the full amount and being done then, or you can keep working longer and then drive down the cost of it. It just takes a lot longer to craft it.
Right.
Oh, I've got a whole week, so.
Yeah, you guys have the time for this. Okay, so then let's do this, guys. Let's shift. Well, actually, geez, we're at our pause point here anyway. But here's what I'd like to do when we get back for it. Is we're going to shift and talk about what your characters. We'll do this sort of dropping in and out of character about what you want to approach for the next little bit. You know, we can do this as role-playing scenes. We can do this just as like kind of meta chat amongst you guys. Whatever you want to do, we'll help figure out where the various characters are going to go next, because there's a lot of kind of irons in the fire, as it were, that they could pursue. So let's talk about what they're going to be doing in the immediate future. And then what my intent is at some point we are going to be kind of doing a longer gap when things are less pressing to move us towards the summer, so that the Barrow actually in furtherance to what Luck asked about before, Luck Dragon, was I want to get us closer to the summer, because again, like what I tend to do is I'll keep filling in stuff about for you guys to keep pursuing and adventuring, and we'll find ourselves in June of next year, and it's suddenly finally like, hey, now it's spring, guys. So
right, exactly.
I do want to do a bit of a 2 months past thing coming at some point, but let's talk about what the immediate future is, the immediate goals once we get back from our break. So let me turn this down. We'll put our what do you call it? Intermission music on, if I can find it. Where is it? Did I stop playing it? Where did I put it? I did. There it is. Okay, so back in like 3 to 5 minutes.
Perfect.
Folks.
Alrighty.
Alrighty. Let's check in with chat as well. Oh, Flame, what's going on here? Yeah, Flame's got a list of our adversaries here too.
Oh, nice.
Oh, he's been very helpful.
Yeah, super helpful too. Yeah, no, sorry, unlucky. No trouble at all. I mean, we appreciate hearing what what stuff is of interest, and you know, our first chapter of the Barrowmaze was really focused on getting out there. It was a lot of low-level characters and the dangers and troubles you have getting out there, and then we spent probably about a third of that campaign at least actually exploring parts of the Barrowmaze. And then just when we transitioned over to this campaign, we kicked it off. And I have custom faction rules that I've been using for this since we first started playing with the Pathfinder playtest. So what that's done is that the players have there's other shit that's going on in town. So the Barrowmaze definitely is a persisting element of here, and you will definitely see them exploring the dangers of the same, but it may be when they do go, they'll be making. They will hopefully be at a level where they will be able to make some really good headway through the Barrowmaze, and not be doing like what we did before, which was like a maybe 4 or 5 room crawl and then turning and going back home. So it'll be a more substantial crawl through there. All right.
And Bargo's going to learn some psionics.
Nice. Did you see that Carl picked up the Dark Sun box set too?
I did.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So for those listening at home, we're in the midst of planning for New Year's Eve. We're going to do an epic AD&D Second Edition session set in Dark Sun in the classic. Which I got right here. Good old Dark Sun.
Oh, that's in great condition.
Yeah, this was. I think I got a Noble Knight.
Yeah, oh, they're great.
Yeah.
And never played it, but always wanted to.
It is super fucking cool.
It's cool.
Yeah.
It's a great design.
I know all the rules for that.
For AD, oh yeah, because you played the video games, right? That were.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
As long as the rolling's handled by clicking a button, I'm fine with it.
Yes.
I hate Thaco so much.
Yeah, it's if you didn't grow up with it, it's a really unintuitive thing. I mean, fortunately, it was actually someone had asked about Thaco in Astonishing Swordsman and Sorcerers of Hyperborea, and I was like, yeah, at the time I'm like, well, you mean you could do some reworking to do it, and then I thought about the math, and I'm like, well, actually, this is a fucking cinch. Like, it would be the easiest thing in the world to just flip numbers around, because it's not like AD&D where there's weird places where there's gaps. It's just a flat progression for fighting ability in Ash, so it's much easier. You could do away with it altogether.
Totally.
But I mean, fortunately, the character sheets we use do that or calculate that stuff automatically. I need to hit refresher because I'm getting weird artifacts from what do you call it? From different.
I've lost everybody's camera except Kevin and myself.
Okay, let's see.
I've reconnected a few
refresh
times, but it
here.
doesn't seem to help.
Oh, and Flame, thanks so much for providing us that summary too. That's very much appreciated. So, guys, let's talk about what our heroes are going to pursue and what they're prioritizing as their next steps here. Let me. No cameras are currently working.
Yeah, I got nothing either.
Okay, let me hit reconnect here.
Me too.
It's that time of night where Roll20 is just like, fuck it. It's
Yeah,
Friday.
Playing games, yeah.
Yeah, why would I want to? Hey, John's back. Let's see here. George is back.
It's an interesting trick. If you right-click on somebody's name, like, you'll get a reset player, reset all, and reconnect all.
Interesting. Okay, cool. I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. Huh.
There we
That's
go.
cool.
I was clicking around, I was like, ooh, that's fancy.
Yeah, that's cool, but it didn't work.
Steve says rolling for connect.
Awesome.
Oh, man.
Critical fumble.
Oh, and yeah, and it was Walt, because you guys were all there for it, too. Great, like, fucking terrific session last time, too, guys. I had a lot of fun with that one.
Same here. I was telling my wife about it afterwards, and she doesn't care about games, so that's how much I wanted to talk about it.
Yeah, that was a really pretty solid session. Okay, and I realized too that I was telling the guys before we went on that as long as I've got a cup of tea, I can do those voices. It's just if I don't have a cup of tea, my voice gives out because it's just.
I was surprised you were able to. I'm assuming you do a lot of talking, for your job. So that's tough.
You know what I do?
voice.
I do that. I heard on a documentary about voice actors tricks they do, where like singing in the car, like not like
Yep.
screaming in the car, but like singing in the car and doing constant warm up stuff. I do that stuff
Yep.
before, discoveries, before whatever,
That's
before
great.
these things too, which is
Yeah.
a great fun for my son as I'm running around singing off key, songs from the 80s. So.
Yeah, that's great.
All right, so let's see here, guys. We are. So what are we thinking here? Like these, Flame has provided us in chat a pretty effective summary of what we got here. Let's see: Wyvern Druid, Shadow Hands, the Mother of Toads tasks, the Cult of Orcus, Gamdar, if he's indeed connected to that, the Guardian, the Fallen Guardians, and the problem with the Thorns Wild Elves, with their them being bedeviled by spirits. Am I forgetting anybody?
No.
That seems like
We got a
covers
pretty
it.
good summary of it on Discord. Let's see what. Am I missing anything here? Let's see. Froglings as well too.
Right.
So.
Just a couple of things.
Couple of things. So what are our I mean, this this kind of snowed in time certainly gives you guys an opportunity to catch your breath. Everyone's should be at full health right now too, because you will certainly have enough
cool.
days to the pack of Yetis that I intend to have attack at the end of the week is not gonna just kidding.
Great. we'll see.
Yeah, is he kidding? I don't know.
Well,
Exactly.
Zuko's opinion on the whole matter is to, protect the town as much as we can. And the Froglings seem to be like the most direct threat once spring hits.
Mm-hmm.
It warms up enough that they could move around. And who knows what they're doing now under the ice.
Yeah.
Bargo cannot craft a scroll, so that makes it easy because he's not trained in crafting.
Oh shit.
So that's no, that
Well,
kind of removes that.
What spell are you trying to craft?
Just a first level scroll, but to do any crafting, you have to be trained.
Yeah, and I think
too.
you're from the primal tradition. He's from arcane, so you can't. They're not transferable,
Right.
unfortunately. Yeah.
Some spells may share, but it's not. It won't be the right tradition. So
Yeah.
I can also craft some occult spells, but they're cantrips. So it's because my bard dedication gives me some cantrips.
Oh, okay, cool.
Interesting.
So then, what are we thinking, guys? What are? Let's talk through. Like, what if you were to prioritize the most pressing threat? What do you think that is?
Zuko votes for Froglings and the black toad with the stone monolith thing. So
I think, yes, I agree. But the other thing is, to me, equal and maybe connected is the corruption that's happening. The information we got from the Mother of Toads about what's going on in the Barrowmaze with those guardian burial mounds. Nice, Steve. So Bargo's interested in pursuing that arm of that, but he thinks they're related.
Okay.
Raven doesn't know anything about any of that. And he's a hireling, henchman. So he's willing to do whatever his brother decides to do. He trusts his brother more than anybody. He's just wants to make sure he's not a vampire.
I think technically he's a hireling because he actually has levels.
Okay, yeah. So he's a hireling, and so he's gonna do what he's hired to do, whatever that might be. But he'll probably take orders from most anybody. But he specifically will listen to Sir Yvain.
and Druk on the same notion. He's a druid, so what initially brought him here was the imbalance in the Barrowmaze. So he definitely wants to look into that.
Yeah. There are 3 druids who have collected here now, too. He's been quite, standoffish. But there is Oberon, who is this very pale dwarf who is also a druid. So Werbin, Oberon, and Druk are now 3 druids who have all made their ways to Helix.
It's actually really interesting.
And Roan's
Makes
character,
sense.
was Roan's character a sorcerer?
Roan is a sorcerer. That's right. Yeah,
He has the divine aspect, right? The tradition.
he does. Yeah.
Zuko is a sorcerer, and he has the primal, so they're kind of tied. So
Yeah.
it seems to be interesting.
So what do you? So the froglings then, guys. And what's sort of the? What will be the strategy once the road's clear? Is everyone going to try and pursue these things? The location of the frog of the what do you call it? The monolith tree is going to be about here, guys.
Okay.
So near where the
Interesting.
R is in Barrowmore.
Yeah. Well, it looks like it's only about 8 feet away.
This is the scale, right, Kev?
Yeah, right?
But we could go. So Sir Yvain has business in Ironguard Mott, talking with the Church of Saint Yig there to make sure that Gamdar doesn't try to hang out there. So we could go to Ironguard Mott and then to Bogtown and then over into the Barrowmore towards the Monolith Oak.
Is this the Dwarven Bridge over Moorwash River?
It is.
Zuko has
Right.
business there.
Right. So that could be something we do on the way.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like a good plan.
Who
Seems
was
like it's all leading back
tasked?
to Bogtown.
Guys, remind me, who was tasked with collecting a piece of the sky?
I think that was Buka.
Oh, right. Yeah, okay. So Buka will likely want, if you guys are intending on traveling as far as the Moon Peaks and the dwarven communities there, he will likely want to travel with you guys as well.
Cool. We also have to look for somebody called the Black Seer, who is related in some way, according to the Mother of Toads, to the three who have risen and the fourth who slumbers, that all have to do with the imbalance in the Barrowmore. So we have no information about who that might be, so we could ask around in Ironguard Mott. Or at least Barlow would want to do that. Since it's a bigger... How much bigger is Ironguard Mott than Helix?
Oh, substantially.
Okay, great. Yeah, so that's what he thinks it's a good idea. So he's all for heading out once the blizzard clears, and it makes sense, whenever that is, to make that journey. So he's got...
Helix has a population of 632. Ironguard Mott is 1,638.
Oh, okay, great. So, yeah, cool. So that's his kind of plan. But in the meantime, he will be looking around for this red-bearded, green-eyed man that he's been tasked with finding and exposing.
Okay. So
Raven's happy to go with the party, too. So,
so what's the plan with the with respect to the Monolith Oak? Is just to like hike out there and that's it, or what, guys?
that is a good question. Because do we know, Sir Yvain, do you know what we need to do once we find it? Like once we get there?
I have no idea. Kind of out of character, one of my ideas was, well, we could just do our best to destroy everything there and hope that kills off a generation of froglings so that they can't come this summer. But that doesn't seem like a great plan to be betting on.
Zuko thinks it's a good plan.
Right. Well, we know that it has there's some kind of combination of necrotic and primal energies related to this whole situation. And from what the Mother told, this is Bargle, what the Mother Toads told me made it seem very clear that this corruption that's going on or imbalance is what's affecting her. She said, bending my people. So once we get to Monolith Oak, it may become clear what we need to do. But we definitely should go there. But perhaps we can... I don't know what's in Ironguard Mott to research, in terms of researching, but maybe we could try to find out anything we can about the history of this place, if anybody's heard of a Monolith Oak before, or, we didn't have that information prior.
If our ultimate goal, right, is to... We're all pretty clear on the idea that the core issue that is sort of spreading out to everywhere comes from the Barrowmaze itself. And so while we can't get to the Barrowmaze itself right now, we can prepare for it. Apparently at the Monolith Oak spawning grounds, that's where they keep all of the treasure and relics of the Frogling heroes. And so maybe we could get ourselves some magic items or figure out if there's something cursed that they brought back that's causing the problem or something like that too.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I think our first step is to acquire information if we can, and then from that we'll know if we can prepare in any way.
Okay. So just on a metagame kind of level, like we're going to be splitting the party into two. It sounds like again too, or as well. So think of who's going where, and what whichever of your characters is not going to Ironguard Motte and then on to either Bogtown or into the Barrowmoor. How are you guys planning on reaching that point in the Barrowmoor? Are you just going to hike out from Helix? Are you going to hike out from... Because you know that you'll have to go close to the Barrowmaze or the Barrow Mounds, and then also you'll have to deal with the headwaters of the Moorwash River as well.
Seems like it's right. We were talking about going around back to Bogtown and then marching from Bogtown over across so that we don't have to deal with all of the long distance trek.
Okay. Are you waiting for spring for that, or are you going to try and do it in the wintertime? Which again is seemingly...
seemingly undoable. I mean, our last expedition was wasn't in full winter, and was obviously incredibly dangerous compared to even more dangerous than usual. I guess I would put it. I guess how long is it till this thaw begins? Are we like 6 months away, or
from spring? No. You guys are like past the midpoint. This is a late winter storm here now. So it's probably about maybe 2 months, 3 months off.
Okay.
So until like late spring when it'll clear up enough for you guys to be able to head in.
Right.
So Sir Yvain needs to go to Ironguard Motte before then, if he's going to talk to the Church of St. Yig and give them a warning about Gamdar.
Yep.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, and we can also tell them about everything we learned from the Mother of Toads and the corruption and this key that's in transit, and see if they have it. That rings any bells for them as to what that might be, and maybe that'll give us some guidance about how to proceed from there. And either we return to Helix, or from there we go to Bogtown. We could just decide independently. Various characters can decide which direction to head after that.
I have an idea. Zuko thinks that some of the more powerful characters, the one more experienced with the Barrowmoor, should be the ones that head out there and investigate. But the other characters that are in our employ might do a better job of keeping a lower profile in Ironguard Motte and doing further research and on other things that might come from behind, like lookouts, like look into the Shadow Hand or things like that. Kind of like round about the other problems that we have. Make them live a little bit longer.
That's a good idea. Yeah, I'm good with that.
Okay.
Kevin, do you want to make sure that none of us is playing two characters?
That's what I want to like. We're gonna have to. You guys are gonna have to justify why both of them aren't there. But this is just the conceit we need in order to jump back and forth between the two groups. If everyone, what I would prefer is that you guys pick two kind of things to be doing, and then we can switch back and forth between those two things. Not have everybody go and do the same thing, because then it's going to get unwieldy and it becomes like a story problem for how to explain why we're splitting up the groups.
Yeah,
and I don't want you guys playing two characters each in any scene, right? So
same here.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I think that Jonathan had a good suggestion, which is the more experienced characters can make this journey, while the other characters remain behind.
I'll also speak for Jeff and for Dave as well too, for Badonk and for Wes respectively. The Badonk has a way of getting in touch with Serene, and Wes has been asked to help. Like, apparently the Thorns Wild Elves are under attack by something, you know, and the again, on a metagame level, one of the rewards you guys can get from a higher renown with the Thorns Wild Elves is a giant bat mount.
Oh, that's
and
cool.
I imagine that might be easier to navigate. The Gnomes of Serene as well is a faction that you guys can gain things with. One of the rewards from them is a gnomish biplane.
That's a couple ways of getting a piece of the sky, I see.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so on a metagame thing, like, there's ways to pursue those other things, and there are those other... I imagine that given Dave is he's not necessarily crazy about going back to Serene, but Wes sounds like he is interested in helping out the Thorns Wild Elves, and Badonk, I think, would likely be happy to go back because he got that crazy ghost trap from last time.
Oh, with Badonk there, let's send some of the henchmen with Badonk.
Yeah.
That would be a good fit.
Yeah.
Because I know at least Druk can heal, and then Raven is pretty good at tanking. Well,
yeah, he can.
Eventually. Yeah. And if Angus goes along, then we got a wizard on the side. That would be a pretty good mixture.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
And getting to Thorns Wild Forest, can you skirt the edge of the Barrowmore? I'm not totally sure about
what he's looking for. They're actually not going to the Thorns Wild Forest yet. He's looking for them to go to Serene to see if he can get help. Yeah. And then if they can get the help from Serene, it's a flying city. So if not the whole city, the gnomes seem to have some kind of magical contraptions they can use to fly. Right. So like they could easily transport themselves to the Thorns Wild Forest and assist possibly at least assist the elves with whatever is bedeviling them right now.
Cool. Okay. Well, I can speak for Raven, of course, and say that he would be happy to go on that expedition because he is a bounty hunter, but when there's people in trouble, he always looks up to his older half brother and knows that he always does the right thing. So he has a great motivation to go and join Badonk.
Okay, so let me just sort of list here so I know who's going where. Okay, so Serene then will be Badonk, which means that Oberon is with the Iron Guard Mott group. Sir Yvain, where are you going?
Sir Yvain is going to Iron Guard Mott and then to the Monolith Oak. So Angus is going to Serene.
Angus is going to be going to Serene. Werbin, we've been bopping back and forth between you two because you don't have a backup character yet there, Steve-O. We can just let you keep doing that.
Steve, do you have any thoughts about what kind of second backup character you might make if you needed one?
Interesting. I hadn't thought about it, but I will investigate.
Okay.
Cool.
Zuko is... What was that, Steve?
What are we lacking something here?
What do you guys think?
Huh.
We've got Druk for heals, Angus for wizard spells. Raven is a ranger or
a fighter. He's a melee fighter.
Okay. And Bob is going to be a monk, so we've got melee covered there. Some archery or maybe a rogue archer, maybe?
Yeah.
Rogues get lots of skills.
Yeah, a rogue archer. I like that notion.
Okay.
Cool. Awesome.
So we'll have Steve's guy going to Serene. Let's see here. Zuko is going to Iron Guard Mott.
Yeah, he's following Sir Yvain.
Okay, which means that Druk is going to go to Serene. Bargle is going where? Iron Guard Mott?
Yeah.
Okay.
Half-orc going to a Delvin City. This will be fun.
And he's convinced Raven that he's not the Bargle he's looking for.
No, you're thinking of Bargle,
Yeah,
Smith.
The famous.
I know.
Everybody knows who he is.
I'll let the players of the other... So the ones that are as yet unknown is where Buka is going. Where Buka / Sorolov. And Roan slash his character Morn. And I know that Wes will be going to Serene. I think he'll be going... you know, I'll let Dave make the decision. I'm fairly certain that's where he would want to go. But I'll let Dave make the decision for where Wes and Elenil are going. He has his backup character. And I think we've got all the backups right now.
So how many total characters do we have, by the way?
1, 2, 3... Well, let's take a look at the tab.
Like 10 or
Tab that's there. 1, 2, 3, 4... 5, 6, 7, 8,
17.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 with the fire method.
I'll just half remember.
Whose
It's
character
like playing-
is Gareth?
That was my original backup.
Oh, right. And
That's if we need another fighter, I can always play Gareth, but he was
Mm-hmm.
just a fighter that I built.
This is like playing an AD&D campaign in 1979.
Totally.
Kill my character, I brought another one.
We'll split one over here and then, yeah.
True.
Yeah. Well, it's great. I mean, I think it's cool to be able to switch back and forth between different character, different content. And if there is a death, you've got a ready-made backup.
I found it to be fun because I get to explore more of the rules and learn about the different roles and different classes. So it's been fun.
Okay, so what we'll do is, because Jeff's not here, because Dave's not here, I'll hold off on the Serene group. Is there anything else that's going to happen during that week, guys, that you want to, before the road gets even remotely close to being passable?
There's so much. There's not a lot of resources here in Helix, so there's some limitations in terms of what Bargo would like to do. But he's going to try to figure out if there's any kind of clothing he can buy. Like he wants to be able to switch clothes and stuff when he needs to for in terms of hiding from the Shadowhands and stuff. So he's going to look for just outfits that he can purchase or have made for tailored to him.
You can definitely
looks.
Ocean's Trade Goods would have that stuff there. You'd be able to buy a couple sets of clothes.
Cool.
To try and throw them off your scent. Yes. And again, everyone, so Werbin, you can heal yourself up to full. Raven, you can heal yourself up to full.
Cool.
Everybody got a good night's rest. So let me...
Zuko's going to be like experimenting with his new spells, the new spell that he's learned.
Yeah.
Was that animal form spell. So he's going to figure out the ins and outs of that during the rest of his downtime.
Cool.
So.
Okay, so let's see here. Raven's going to Serene. Angus is going to Serene. And these are the guys heading to Ironguard Mott. Interesting. Okay, so then after a week passes of after about 5 days pass, finally the snow actually stops, and you have 1 or 2 days that are a little bit warmer, so you get a little bit of melting, but it's still giant piles of snow on the road, so it's gonna be tough going. If you guys are going to, press your way out to make it to Ironguard Mott. If you are intent on making it to Ironguard Mott as well, too, then you think that the SSCC...
Five more hirelings.
You wish? Yeah.
We got 5 more hirelings.
Well, unfortunately, right now, hey, and I've got actually the rules for building NPCs now. So thanks to Paizo releasing it, so I'm going to make stats for hirelings in the spring because that is a really fun part of this campaign. The disposable hirelings.
And by the way, some of us have horses. And I don't know if people don't have
well,
horses.
some of you had horses.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Then we left them.
Yeah.
I didn't leave nothing. Mine died.
Yeah, so I think Bargle and Angus are down 1 horse each.
Yeah. Okay. Good to know.
Yeah.
Oh, do I need to make those crafting checks?
Do you have to make an actual check?
Yeah. How well I roll determines how much it's going to end up costing me.
Sure. Let's see here. Go ahead and give us a crafting check.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
Okay. Yeah. Let's see what the DC is. What's the DC? I think
the DC is by the DM.
It's set by the DM?
Set by the DM.
So 46. Did you roll a 46?
Oh, wow.
Oh, no. That's a critical failure. Ink in my eye. No. Let's take a look at skills here and let's see what it says.
One of the crafting examples was like he was making something like 65 gold. He had to put half up front, and,
Yeah.
and then he rolled to determine.
Yeah, I'm
like 4
really,
days in.
you know, like in general, I'm really not a huge fan of the of like rolling to craft stuff mechanics in general. Like, Star Wars, the Fantasy Flight Star Wars has that, and like it's an incredibly elaborate set of rules. So like they've really thoroughly thought it through. But like, I still fail to see like what's the fun of rolling and losing money.
Well, it's a matter of how much money you save making the item. You still make progress, even though you get a.
Like, I think it's an interesting game mechanic to have, you know, to make decisions about your characters that will drive down the cost of crafting stuff. Like, that to me is cool, and I like seeing characters rewarded, but the whole, like, leaving it to a roll of a dice to decide whether you're crafting or not, I'm not sure I see the fun value in that.
I agree.
Yeah, so... But whatever, I mean, fun is all subjective. So
yeah, exactly.
Some people like blood sausage.
I'm surprised that they actually haven't worked out what the DCs are for like levels of magic item, just because that seems like a, you know, something that I think was in Pathfinder 1, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm. I know them fairly well.
Yeah, so
GMs determine its DC to craft the item based on its level, rarity, and other circumstances.
Level 1 scroll.
A level 1 scroll. Well, it's a level 1 spell scroll, which is a crucial difference. Because I don't think it is a level 1 item. What level is a level 1 scroll?
That's a good question.
Item level.
It could very well be a level 1, so I really don't know. Let's look at the list here.
Yeah.
Because we're learning about crafting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some days we talk to immortal undead beings. Some days we read how to make scrolls.
Spell level 1, item level 1.
Item level 1. Okay, cool.
Spell level 2 is item level 3.
Okay, so
it's on page 565.
Okay, and the rarity is going to be common, so I'm not going to bump it up that way. All right, so then I have some good news for you. You did not critically fail.
Nice.
I've got further good news for you. You did not fail.
Okay,
I
excellent.
have even more good news. You did succeed.
Nice.
And if you were to ask me, Kev, how would you characterize that kind of success if you were to give it a quality and not a color coding? I'm happy to give you a color coding quality to your success if you like.
Legendary.
But if you were to beg me to give a name to it, I would say it was a critical success.
Okay.
Well,
in that case, I think, put the full amount of time into it and get 2 scrolls out of it.
Yeah. So let's see here. Your attempt is successful. Each additional day spent crafting reduces the materials needed to complete the item by an amount equal to your level plus 1.
Level 5.
And your proficiency in crafting. Okay.
Well, the scrolls are only going to cost me 2 gold pieces each with that success, so I'll just make 2 of them. Because I don't have that much more money.
Well, the thing is, you're only... let's see here. Hold on. Successful. So I'm looking on page 244 here. If you're successful, you pay the remaining portion of the item's price in materials to complete it immediately, or you can spend additional downtime days working on it. Each additional day you spend, reduce the value of the materials you need to contemplate. The amount is determined on your income earned, based on your level and the... So you're level 4 now, right?
Yeah.
What level are you? Or what? So what level of training do you have in crafting?
I'm trained.
So each day you spend, level plus 1, each day you spend on crafting reduces it by 9 silver pieces.
Okay.
Okay,
so days,
so it's how much does the scroll cost normally?
it normally costs 4, and I think you put half up front.
4, so it's 40 silver pieces. Let's use it in silver because that's an easier, okay? So it's 40 silver pieces normally, which means it costs you 20 to get to the point where you made the roll. The remaining cost, you can spend 20, or you can spend 3 days and just complete it then. You have the time to do that. So a full week, you could complete your scroll for the cost of 2 gold pieces, or 20 silver.
Okay.
So, and then again, I think what either you or George had linked before too is that you can make them in batches of 4, right? So if you want to spend 2 extra gold, so you spend 4 gold total, you could have crafted 2 scrolls.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
That's what I wanted to do.
Okay, cool.
Cool.
Well, that's good. Honestly, that was painless. You know, maybe not for those listening at home. So those who are watching us fumble through these rules. But, you know, we look it up once, we won't have to look it up again. That's
exactly. We're all learning.
Yeah. That isn't bad though. I mean, like honestly, that seems
pretty straightforward.
Yeah. And even think, you know what? And I take it back. That is an actual interesting crafting. That is an interesting dice roll. It's not like, I think maybe because these are more predictable dice rolls than they are in Star Wars.
I like them better than Pathfinder because Pathfinder you make the roll and you just wasted half your material.
Oh fuck.
So.
Yeah.
Pathfinder 2, this is good. I'm gonna borrow this.
Yeah.
That's Iron Man crafting.
Right.
Okay. Anyone else doing anything, or are you going to try and brave these snowy roads and head out to Ironguard Mott? And are there any other things you want to purchase before you go, guys? These.
Just wanted to be looking for the red-bearded, green-eyed guy in Helix.
Sure. So
cover that base.
George, am I correct in thinking that what you just told me is that you want to use exploration mode action to try and gather information?
That's exactly right.
Yeah, I thought I heard that. So
you picked up on that.
Why don't now? Does Bargle have the? Doesn't he have? Does he have that streetwise talent that I can't remember if criminals get that?
He has underworld lore. Is what he gets for his.
So if you knew that this guy was a member of the underworld, then I would let you use that.
That would be one place he would look.
Okay. What is your bonus with underworld lore?
It is 10.
It's 10.
Ooh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
You're a wizard.
Okay, so you know
he knows too much about the underworld.
So you're asking around a little bit to maybe to Perny Ticklebottom, the halfling proprietress of the Foul Pheasant, you know, because she seems to have like the sketchier folks often will spend their evenings there gambling until the wee hours, and then occasionally taking advantage of the trade of the flesh that happens there as well. What Perny tells you is that hold on. Yeah, actually, you make a good enough roll. You know to follow up with her about this, and the name, the description, that specific description, you know there's some dude who you've seen lurking at the Black Dragon, who matches that description.
Mm-hmm.
Who he is where you could get into the gather information.
Okay. And the skill.
This is with Perny, so you could make a diplomacy check, and then I think that if you, if you have the streetwise talent, you use society instead of diplomacy to gather information.
I don't have that.
You know that talent? Okay.
You mean feat? I guess?
Feat? Yeah. Sorry, not talents.
I don't have that. Just double checking.
Sure.
No, my experience smuggler. Yeah. So no, so I can't use society, which is a 10.
Okay.
So I will be using my diplomacy, which is a 0.
Okay.
As we all know, Fargo is not very diplomatic.
Hey, dummy! You seen any criminals?
Exactly. That's basically what he's going to say. So here's what he rolled. Yeah, that's exactly what it says. So he critically fails.
You want to spend a hero point?
I do, because we don't need problems to happen right now. So I'm gonna roll again. Here we go. Please roll better.
There you go.
Nice.
Nice. Okay. You've broken roll 20 of it. You like your 2? How about a fucking 1? Huh?
Exactly.
I was expecting
Habit.
that.
Yeah. Speaking of which, everybody gets a hero point as well, too, to match halfway through. And Werbin, you should only have 1 right now, so you now have 2. Yeah, Werbin, you always drop down to 1 at the start of a session, because Kev is a mean guy. All right, so what she tells you is that actually I don't know if you. Oh yeah, that'd be good enough. Okay, so how does Bargle approach this? Perny's whereas the Brazen Strumpet is a welcoming, loud kind of place. The Foul Pheasant has this very perfunctory kind of like those tiny little not bodegas, but those tiny little ethnic restaurants that you can find in big cities where it looks like it used to be something else, and they've thrown a table or 2 down there, and it's clear the layout is not designed for that. So there's only 2. That's basically what this place is like. There's 2 tables in here. There's maybe 1 guy who's sitting at one, and you get the distinct feeling that he may be a bouncer. but you can hear noise from elsewhere in the building, and that's sort of what this is like. And from somewhere in the back, you walk in, Bargle. I'm assuming you've been here before, but
yeah, I would think so.
Yeah. But where, how do you think, that's a good enough role, so, like, Perny's going to be at least interested in engaging with you. How do you think Bargle relates to Perny?
So she's just told him where this man can be found.
No, we're gonna role play this out.
Oh, okay, so that hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
Okay. So he'll walk up to Perny and
Yeah, Bernie, do not make me do my Bernie Sanders impression.
Actually, I kind of want to hear that. So he'll go up to her and, man, he spent all his money. Did we have any money? Like, did we get any money from anything? 'Cause I am.
You got
totally
ripped off
broke.
for that lady in the bog town.
Awesome. Bargle's got no money left? What did he started with some money because he was 3rd level.
He did. Yeah. He spent it on the horse. He spent it on buying drinks for people. And there was something else. What was that?
Getting ripped off at a lady in Bogtown to get a bag.
Yeah, right. He paid extra money.
Yeah.
So yeah, he kind of doesn't have much money.
Oh shit.
So I guess is Perny aware of Bargle's involvement in helping save the lives of 2 of their local friends? I'm finding their names because it was so long ago. Man,
the hunter?
The son and his
the
son that we saved from the
So here's I just rolled something for you. I'll give you a little insight into your perspective on Perny. So Perny is this little halfling woman who you've heard that she's she may have been an adventurer at some point, maybe, but she seems to have decided this is a more profitable and more lucrative thing to be involved in. But what you can tell, I think you've heard before you came here, Bargle, is you think Perny, while not necessarily associated with, she's got contacts in the Shadowhands.
Oh, interesting.
So that, given her, her interests, the shadier shit that she kind of gets up to, that's not surprising. The foul pheasant is the house of ill repute for a variety of different vices, and but I mean, she presents as a very affable and friendly person, but you do definitely know that she's got that connection. And you get I think the first time you met her when you were in Helix, because remember you were here to kind of run as well too, you kind of had this moment, like after you had gone in there, after you were dice, maybe like trying your hand at dice, when you saw her come in and you realized kind of who she was. There's that pregnant kind of pause as you guys exposed the like, oh shit, and then she did never do anything about it. Okay, so even though you don't know what that means necessarily, like whether she's biding her time or whether she's not actually connected with him or what else, but so that's the context for your relationship with Perny.
Okay, and other than that, she's not a troublesome element in town. Like people aren't. Yeah, right. Okay, good.
So, with adventurers, it's sort of a necessary evil.
Okay.
It's only been since the exploration of the Barrowmoor has started in the last little while, or the Barrow Mounds. Last couple of years, it's a relatively new establishment, but it's definitely thriving in the summer months. Okay.
So I'll approach her and trying to be friendly and like trying to smile, which is he doesn't usually do.
You walk in and she looks up at you and she says, "Oh, hi there, Bargle, darling. What are you doing here?"
Perny, very good to see you. And he's like trying to gauge this whole conversation.
I thought you'd headed out to Ironguard Mott. What are you finding yourself back here for?
I did. Well, there was a lot of things going on. I don't. I don't. You may have heard this. I don't know, but there was a young man named Tamsin who's
Darling,
life I saved.
it sounds like you need a welcoming ear. Someone to hear your troubles.
Well,
Is
yes,
that what
I
you came
do.
to old Perny for?
Well, kind of. What are you talking about?
She looks at you. Has it really been that long, darling? We got
Oh, I
ladies
see.
out in the back there that they'll be happy to talk to you.
Well, the problem is a little short on funds, so unfortunately, that was not the reason for my
Bargle,
visit
honey,
today.
you know we don't run no charity here.
Well, understandable, which is why I came here just to speak to you for a few minutes.
Oh, honey, it's so cute that you think that even my time's not worth money.
Well, no, of course it's worth money, but I'm here for something that's mutually beneficial.
Mutually
Um,
beneficial.
Yes. So just hear me out. Just hear me out.
All right. Come
there's
here.
a
Well,
as you
hold on. And she looks around and she says, just, I'm going to assume this is something that's not for, if it's something that's going to be of interest to me, let's keep it between you and me then.
that sounds like a
So
good
she
idea.
struts in, into the back and she says, you got the front, Hank. And Hank kind of, "Urgh." And she leads you back into kind of her, her like office. And it's this incredibly well like decorated kind of space, and everything is basically sized for a halfling in here. You know it's from past experience that it's sturdy enough for larger creatures.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she leads you in, and you of course know to close the door behind you. And she says, "Can I offer you an aperitif there, Bargle? I find that conversations go so much smoother when they're lubricated."
Of of course, yes, I would love one. I appreciate the offer. And he sits into one of the chairs, and he's like, it's like he's sitting in like a first grader's.
Yeah, it's like
seat.
this, like a divan of some kind, but it like fills your whole butt.
Right. So,
Yeah.
so he doesn't weigh much, so that's helpful.
Yeah.
So he knows he's not going to break it.
So
for
she
sure.
brings you
So
over,
he
and
sits
it's an actual like it's a human-sized glass
Oh.
of alcohol. She hands to you. Cheers.
and he clinks.
Tell me,
And
did
he-
you change
that-
your clothes, son?
Well, every once in a while, they kind of get stinky and worn. So it was time. It was time to get some new clothes that really fit more with these environs. So I got some local garb here from your fellow shopkeepers, let's call them.
I see.
But let me just get right to the point, which is obviously.
Well, hold on there, darling.
Mhm.
We gotta get ourselves comfortable. If we're gonna be talking business, and I'm assuming if you're saying there's something for me that's gonna be of interest to me, we're talking business. I'm gonna get myself comfy. So she walks in
He's
over
getting-
this fairly large chair. She takes opens up this kind of like lacquered box. She pulls out what looks like like effectively like a cigarillo of halfling pipeweed, jams it in the end of a big long smoking thing, and then flashes a match, lights it up, makes this great flourish back to sitting herself down, resting one arm in the back, the cigarette holder kind of hanging out long. She's holding the snifter of alcohol artfully in her one hand, and when she's finally got herself positioned, she says, "You may proceed, darling."
Okay, so Bargle is incredibly uncomfortable and intimidated by her presence. So he's like a little kind of nervous. I like the smoke like wafts by him, and he's like, so what I was gonna say, was there something? It was important. It was, oh right, yes. So obviously, your very fine establishment is often finds its
Bargle,
patron.
honey,
Yeah.
why don't you take a big draught out of that, and you try it a second time.
Okay, so he like just downs the whole thing.
Yeah.
And kind of shivers as the heat kind of goes through him. It's like, okay, actually that feels a little better. Feels a
Honey,
little better.
you got yourself in a cold sweat. You're not going to propose to me, are you?
What? No, nobody wants that. I mean, that would, I would. I'm not in a position to settle down. Is really what it is. Exactly. So I just don't want to waste your time. I don't want to waste your time. That's what it is. I don't want to waste your time.
I always said that you were a clever one there, Bargle.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. That's very nice of you to say. And so I think you'll understand.
It takes a clever boy to figure out that it's not a good idea to be wasting a girl's time like that.
No, of course not. Of course not. I wouldn't even consider such a thing, especially when it comes to you.
So let's quit the necking and cut to the business then. Why don't you get to the rapidly approaching point here, Bargle? Tell me what is of interest to me.
Okay. He's like confused. He's like, am I supposed to take my pants off now? I'm not sure what's happening. But he's like, okay, I'll make it quick and clear. Obviously, your establishment.
So I've heard.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Lots of adventurers visit your establishment and have done so for many years because they're entering the Barrowmore and sometimes the Barrowmaze itself. The problem is that it's getting much worse, and the town of Helix itself is being threatened. And therefore, if Helix is threatened and the trouble comes directly to Helix, it's going to have an impact on everybody's business. So we're not going to be able to solve the problems of the Barrowmore ultimately, but we can stop this spread that's going to make things in Helix itself much worse. So that therefore your establishment can keep running smoothly, adventurers will still come and go into the Barrowmore in search of treasure and adventure, but you'll be safe. All the people in town in Helix will be safe, the people who supply you with whatever you need to keep your business running. And so to that end, the reason I've come is because we've been told that there is someone associated with the problems going on, and I'm supposed to find out who that is. And it's a man that
You're supposed to. Is someone's hired you to find out who's responsible.
It's a manner of hiring. It's sort of doing a task in exchange for information.
I see.
So it's a trade. We'll call it that. No money is changing hands, but
is that? Let me ask you, Bargle. Is what I hear true? And you made a deal with the hag?
Where did you hear that?
Honey, you know better to ask a girl about her secrets. I take from your answer it's true, though.
Yes, it is true. I would never try to lie to you.
Bargle, you must have been in much more dire straits than I even understood to entertain risking a deal with the hag.
Well, things aren't going well. It's a good point. I'd forgotten about some of that. But now that you remind me of it, yeah, it's having a little bit of trouble. But as you know, I do try to do the right thing when it comes to people's lives. So I do have concern for my fellow sentient living creatures against the undead.
You haven't taken up the cloth now, boy, have you?
No, but I've been traveling with some who are members of those types of organizations, and maybe it's rubbed off on me.
It's clear that it has.
So maybe I'm turning over a new leaf. We will see, and perhaps you can help me do that. I'm looking for a man who has a red beard and a green eye, and he seems to be somebody who might have something to do with what's going on.
Now, Bargle, your friends may be inclined to think of things in those grand, sweeping ways that those boys over at the shrine like to talk about. Big gestures of good and evil. I'm just a simple girl, and I like thinking things real simple. So make it simple for me, Bargle. How's this going to be of interest to my business again? She takes a big drag of the cigarette and kind of puffs it out so it fills It's as if she's practiced, filling up the place where you're sitting with smoke.
All right. And I cough through it. I'm like, well, it's just simple. I want to make sure your establishment continues to operate without trouble. And if the
I'm
undead
going to
comes
assume
down,
that you meant no ill intent by telling me that, suggesting, indirect like, that I'm unable to take care of my own business.
well, I didn't say that at
Bargo,
all.
I know you far too well. You'd never suggest something as foolish as that.
I've just seen
I'll
these...
tell you what, Bargle. Why don't we do this? You tell me what it is you're looking for. And I'll tell you whether I got something for you. And if I do, you're going to owe me a favor.
That sounds fair.
Honey, you ever known me to be anything other than fair?
No, I was just stating a fact. He's got a terrible charisma, so...
Yeah.
I'm trying to play him that way. I basically just need to find this man who has a red beard and a green eye. Is there anybody who matches that description that you're aware of in Helix?
In Helix? No. But I think I know the man you're talking about.
Oh, you do?
You
He's like
sound
literally
surprised.
about to walk out. Well, I thought...
My ears are tiny, Bargle, but they're real close to the ground. Makes it easier that way.
That's a good point. I never thought about it that way.
I know the man of which you speak. But do we have a deal?
Of course.
She languidly kind of, gets herself up from the seat, walks over towards you, almost like without locking, puts down the drink, transfers the cigarette holder or the cigarillo holder over to the other hand. She says, well then, why don't we shake on it, Bargle? And I'll tell you the man you're looking for.
Well, I've injured my hand, which is why you see it's wrapped up. I can shake with my other hand, though, if that would serve.
And she kind of delicately puts her hand out, like,
Okay. Yeah, he'll take it and he'll kiss it.
I knew it was only a matter of time before you came to kiss her ring, Bargle. Man you're looking for sounds like Thedric Moore. Thedric, he works for the Silver Standard Merchant Caravan Company out of Irongar Mott. What's your business with old Thedric?
I'm not sure. I've just been told that he might have information or be involved somehow in what's going on. So I just need to find him and talk to him. I've heard that he's involved in something that could involve some kind of betrayal of somebody, but I do not know what that might be. That's all I've been told. Does that mean anything to you?
Does he mean what to me?
That he might be involved in some kind of treachery.
Takes a drag. Are you looking off for a second favor then?
You know what? I think I probably should just stick with the one, since I don't know what it is yet.
From what I recall, it took you 3 months to dig yourself out of your gambling debts last time, so maybe not getting yourself in so deep this time, not a bad idea.
I'm learning my lesson.
Look at that, Bargle. You can learn from your lessons.
Yes, it's true.
Why don't you finish up that drink there, honey? And we'll get you on your way.
Well, thank you so much for your time.
My
Well, she
time's
hasn't given
always
me a
yours,
task.
Bargle.
So you're gonna call in the favor when you need it. Is that right?
Oh, I will. You stay
Okay.
safe, Bargle.
I will. We need to stay alive to carry out whatever favor it is you ask of me.
All right, sugar. Now, come on. Give me a kiss. And you're
Oh.
going to have to lean way the fuck down just to get to her.
Yeah, but she does. He goes on a knee
Yeah.
and gives her a
So-
kiss. Cheek.
Yep. You don't have any money left, do you?
I literally don't. I have 0.
Okay, yeah. So she, what do you call it? As you come away, you're getting ready to leave, and she says, "Bargle, honey,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
you want to ever keep something in this?" She holds up your coin purse, now empty.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to keep your mind a little more focused. She tosses it back to you.
Of course, he misses it.
Yeah.
And she just goes, he picks it up. Oh, thanks. Thank you.
And
Thanks for the tip.
She's walking away, and kind of is like, oh, okay, and waving her still got that cigarette holder, and she makes her way into back into the sort of like the secret room, or like the secret but not secret room in the back, and closes. As it opens up, you can hear the sound of people, like this sound of like a casino kind of, and then it closes off. Okay,
That's cool. Has she made an appearance in the campaign before?
she has not. I've not roleplayed her yet.
Okay. I don't remember it, so she's great.
Yeah.
I have to give like a firm clap there. The double entendres and the opportunities from the Southern interaction. Like, I grew up in North Carolina, and that was great.
Yeah.
We know who it
So
is.
many things just whipping over your head that you could have double talked her back into a corner and put her on the defensive if you knew what was going on. That was great.
That's great. Well, you know who she's based on, honestly, is the character of Joni Stubbs from Deadwood. I fucking love that show. I can't remember the actress's name, but I love the performance she gives in that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's sort of what I was picturing when I was picturing what Perny would be like.
That's great.
If I'd have been playing like a charismatic male halfling, we got another way.
Yeah, right, exactly. That was awesome.
Okay,
cool.
So
That's Bargle's. That's his accomplishment for the week.
okay, yeah. So you've got now a name, Cedric Moore.
Yeah.
And I'll spell that.
Cool. Oh, great.
There you go. Alrighty.
Thank you.
Okay, so then, anything else happened before we guys? Jeez, my accent has gone now to caveman. So
Yeah, right. It's like your characters are very eloquent, but when it gets to you as a person,
completely, yes, unintelligible.
Because he's a lawyer, that's why.
Well, it is, yeah. Like, so my Discovery's voice is completely different from my normal conversational voice. So, okay, so then, guys, anything else happen before you guys? Anything you want to purchase before you go out? I'm not trying to rub it in there, Bargle. I did roll to see if you noticed her pick in your pocket too.
I figured that was what was happening, but I knew I had no money, so it didn't matter.
Oh man. So, okay, then no one else has anything else they want to accomplish. Then we will. Sir Yvain, you've completed your montage of studies. Werbin, you've been keeping yourself occupied in the tavern. Let's set out. Okay, so guys.
You next see Zuko come down the stairs like covered in ink. Like, I did it!
The ink-stained wretch. Oh, George Flowers, the southern accent straight from Gone with the Wind. Thanks.
Nice.
Yeah, we seriously have to do a Deadlands at least one shot.
Yeah.
I have to get my southern accent back out. It's buried somewhere after 8 years of being in Oregon.
Oh, wow.
It's so fun. I had a job years ago where I was in a call center, and the people we were calling were people of the States, and it is so fucking hard to not just like parrot back the accents for some of those ones, because it's so, like, for us in Canada, we hear it on TV, right? And it's like this extreme and no doubt like phony kind of recreation, but then when you hear it, you're like, oh, I'm not supposed to be parroting back this accent, but I can hear my voice doing it.
Yeah, it's kind of automatic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, hold on. What was I looking for? I was looking for something. I was looking for, dang it.
Well, we were about to head out to Iron Guard Mod.
Yeah, that does sound like what we were doing. I was looking for Low Fantasy Gaming for the weather change. I'm going to see what the weather was like. Give me a second. I'll be 2 seconds here, guys. I need to run and grab that. I actually need to go to the washroom. Anyway,
Okay.
the downside to having that tea. So, 1 second.
Did you think about that, Arlen? Is that good?
Oh no, it was great. It was
I can't see your faces on here. I have to switch back and forth between YouTube.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, the strange southern halfling woman was wild.
Yeah.
I just had a perfect image of her in my head. I was like, this is just too good.
Well, she definitely took instant command of the situation. So.
Oh yeah, she had you wrapped around her little finger.
And also had him scared of what she might do.
Oh, don't be scared. Don't be scared.
Exactly. That's even scarier.
Oh, that was good.
But I would guess that probably this is Bargle's life, is this kind of thing.
Man.
He keeps getting himself into terrible situations somehow. Even though he's smart, he just has no wisdom or
He's
charisma.
overly eloquent, and you're pretty straight to the point is what you need to be.
Yeah, exactly.
When,
He's just like, here's the information. That's all I got.
With the Southern Double Talk, it's all about an art form working your way towards it, but being blunt at the same time. So.
Right. Yeah. And there can be a passive aggressiveness to it.
Yes, it can be.
Yeah.
What's passive aggressive?
Oh, I was telling Bargle that the Southern accent, it's usually direct, but when they play word games like that, it's an art form.
Yeah.
So
Love it.
Aggressiveness is in there. So.
We even too.
Like bless your heart, yeah. You know what that means?
Yeah, I too.
It means like 5 different things based on how you say it.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
Passive aggressive.
Okay, now let's see here. Weather. Oh, let me look it up here. I think it's a D12 that I need someone to roll, please. So someone can go ahead and do that, and then I'll just look it up once I find what I'm looking for here. Weather.
Somebody want to roll D12?
Please.
Sure, I'll do it.
Okay.
It's 1. It's really bad.
Yeah, it is.
All right.
Nice. No, it's actually shifting weather is much hotter. So actually, when you guys are setting out, it's gonna be a pretty warm. So in Calgary, in like southern Alberta, we get these things called Chinooks that come in, and Chinooks are these warming winds that come in with massive pressure changes in the weather, and which is, I mean, it's great because you can be like, it can be freezing cold here, and then suddenly it's 20 degrees Celsius warmer just because the Chinooks come in. The downside being is that if you are prone to migraines of any kind from the pressure changes, it's fucking murder. But I'm assuming that's what's happened here, is that I guess there's been a warming winds come in, and suddenly it's a much warmer day. So I think that you guys will not have, you'll be traveling through shitty weather, unfortunately, but you will not require a navigator to try and make sure you don't get lost. So it's just a question of the danger of traveling, because if suddenly the roads are cleared, that means that suddenly other things have access. Where's my big D20?
Right.
I need that.
It reminds me of springtime in Alaska. Mud everywhere.
Yeah. Okay, so guys, what is everyone electing to do as they're traveling? You're traveling in a group of 4. I take it that no one is purchasing a mount. Well, I know Bargle isn't because he ain't got no money.
Yeah, that's right. And he lost the last one, so enough of that.
How much coin does Zuko have left?
Zuko has, I think, 4 gold pieces.
Okay.
Just because he did 4. He's been pretty frugal.
What about Sir Yvain?
Sir Yvain has 13 gold, but he'd rather walk for right now.
Yeah. You'd rather be in the cold ground before giving money.
Well, so specifically what I'm thinking is that at some point the paladin gets to choose a second specialization with the paladin specializations, and so that might be the time for Sir Yvain to be, a knight in shining armor on a white horse. But at this point, he's not ready for that.
Yeah, and those, I mean, the mounts. The thing is the mounts are not really usable in the Barrowmaze either. So it's a good call to not. And I'll summon my mount, this brave charger, Kermit.
Yeah,
a frog.
Exactly.
You would have a frog.
Yeah.
Okay, so then, guys, let's talk about what is everyone doing for their activities. As a reminder, you can do any of the exploration mode activities. Let's see here. Each of these hexes is 5 miles. Is that right? Yeah, 5 miles. So, it will take you... I think it's going to be a full day's travel to get to Ironguard Mott then.
Yeah, I think that's what it took us last time. So that's right.
Though today, it'll be a little slower because of the snow.
The mud.
Yeah, I think it's usually less than a full day, but this is going to be a full day for sure. And or it will require...
Bargo's going to do his usual, which is to keep an eye on.
Man hasn't told everybody about the last time that. So your group made it to Ironguard Mott just fine. A second attempted to make it to Ironguard Mott and got ambushed by shadowed hooded figures, and basically we very nearly had a TPK.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah,
We had one similar.
So Sir Eugene is going to be looking out for trouble.
Yeah.
Okay, good call. Yeah, because there were those Orcus cultists who set upon you last time, right?
Yes. Yep. And we went back.
Or whoever they were. I think that was assumed. All right, so that you're keeping an eye out to drive down the random encounter number. What about Zuko, Werbin, and Bargle? What are you guys doing on the trip from Helix to Ironguard Mott?
Bargle's always keeping an eye out.
Yeah. I also want to congratulate your bravery for setting out and the snowy roads, too, so kudos to you guys.
After losing his precious pony Charcoal to an owlbear, Zuko is especially alert.
Okay.
Looking out.
So you got 2 guys keeping an eye out. What about Bargle?
He's going to... well, he wanted to keep an eye out because he's always concerned about shadow hands coming for him. But there's 2 people already keeping an eye out.
Oh, is there a limit to how much we can?
No. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else that he would want to do that's helpful to the group.
You could scout to, if you did have an encounter, you would get +1 to initiative.
I think that's what he would want to do because what Sir Yvain tells the party about their last attempted journey to Ironguard Mott, which Bargle had no problem with on his own journey. So he's like, so he's going to try to do some scouting, and he actually could.
Oh my god! So my parents, they got snow as well too. I just got a text from my mom. They've had no power since 6 p.m. Winnipeg time. It's 11 there. 5 hours without power in. Jesus.
Wow.
Is the temperature there? Yeah, they must be getting just fucking hammered with 0 degrees feels like -7, so it's really not that cold there necessarily. But even then, like zero degree.
That's around 20.
Well, no, it's all relative. Like Winnipeg is a place where you know how I learned where the Fahrenheit and Celsius scales meet up is at -40, which is the same which we used to get when I was a kid in January, February. Yeah. So like. -0, it ain't warm, but I mean, like, you're gonna have warmth in the house, and like, you can dress up for that. If it was -20, that'd be pretty fucking cold.
I've been a -40 Fahrenheit Alaskan temperature before. That's cold.
Yeah, it's
Old school kind of cold.
Yeah. Well, I'd say like -40 is like you can get flesh, tissue damage with exposed flesh for too long, cold. So,
remember when Crown Victoria I had when I was a lawyer, and the heater went out on it, and it was -5 when I had to drive with my window open so the windows wouldn't fog up.
Oh my god! Well, George, you grew up in New York. You must be. You guys get brutal.
But my blood has thinned since moving to LA, so no longer used to it.
Okay, so you're scouting. What about Werbin? What are you doing on this trip? What is your role? We've got Sir Yvain keeping an eye out for enemies, Zuko keeping an eye out for enemies, Bargle is just trying to keep everyone alert and ready to call out for trouble if he sees it. What do you have in mind?
Werbin's keeping his eye on the path, tracking it through the snow, and watching the weather and safety conditions, and occasionally shooting out lightning bolts.
Occasionally. For no reason. Because it makes Bargle jump. Jesus.
I was just going to say that.
Quit doing that.
Okay. Like, I think you hear something and...
All right. Oh man, much as it's fair to let you guys see it. Here we go. We have 2 people keeping watch out. Let's roll for random encounters. We're spending it.
I wouldn't.
I just thought of a really. You know what? Yeah, everyone gets a hero point, and I'm gonna re-roll.
Oh, that's an interesting rule.
Yes!
Yes!
Oh god, I love my job.
We appreciate the work you put into.
That's right.
All right, here we go. Here we go. Let's see. What is this?
That's great. No, it can't be another one. Not another one.
Oh my god.
As long as somebody's having fun.
Okay, let's see here. I need to roll one. So there's that. Actually, I will use that roll for the first thing. I got 2 things I roll for. I roll for the difficulty of the encounter, and then I also roll for what is encountered. I forgot to roll for the difficulty. Holy shit! I mean, it's nothing. I'm sure it's nothing. It's fine. You guys will be fine. Don't worry about it.
Let's run away.
Interesting. Okay, cool. Give me 2 mementos here, guys. I need to get something set up. And you know what? Maybe I set it up before. Let's see here. I might have stuff I can steal from here, which would be great. Because I will happily stand on the shoulders of giants.
The rule we have in drafting: never draw anything twice.
Yeah. Well, I told someone recently this week that, you know, I'd sooner stand on the shoulders of giants than build a ladder. They did not find it funny at all. I was asking for precedence about something, and I'm like, look, I mean, they're like, well, you know, if you do a search on something, you could do that. I'm like, yeah, but I don't want to have to like look up the research the issue again, and I'd sooner stand on the shoulders of giants and build a ladder. Yeah. Did not find it amusing at all.
Wow, that's interesting.
They're like, well, if you find something, tell me. All right.
No.
Okay.
That's not helpful. Not helpful at all. Okay, let's see here. Now, I rolled for the... Okay.
I think we'll be fine. We have 3 of on our side.
You've got... Sorry?
We have 3 of on our side. We'll be just fine.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, he's super tough. What could possibly happen to a paladin in the Barrowmaze? Yeah. Come on. Once again, Brent's ears are burning. Oh, I told Arlen and John before we got live, but we're actually going to do. Brent's going to. We're coordinating with his schedule right now, but Brent's going to do a return of like last ride of Sir Alba's session.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. I think it's going to be pretty cool.
Awesome.
All right, so let's see here, guys. I haven't printed off the monster builder yet, so I can't just make shit up on the fly here yet.
Oh,
But I will soon.
Good.
Here we go. All right. Whew. Let me think here. You guys are average level 4.
yes.
Okay. Okay. So let me get this quickly set up. What am I closing that book for? Let me get it set up here, guys. Oh god, I am so happy with that giving you a hero point to re-roll the random encounter thing. I gotta be very careful with use of that. Oof. Because I will abuse the shit out of that.
I mean, I'll take the hero point.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay.
I guess it's just if somebody gets the 3 hero points, then they're not getting anything.
Yo, then they're getting squat. Well, I mean, I wouldn't. I wouldn't do that then.
Yeah, it should be a rule of for full. You can't use it anymore.
Yeah, like I do. I do try and draw the line at my bullshittery somewhere.
That's appreciated.
Let's see here. All right. Now, let me move you guys over here. Boom. Okay, is that the right thing? Yeah. Unfortunately, I did. Oh, I do have it. I didn't upload it, or I didn't set it up yet, but I do actually have like snow-covered roads now, which is pretty awesome.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. I got some, like, for Astonishing Swordsman and Sorcerer of Hyperborea. When we go out into the wild again, I got a ton of great new assets.
Oh,
All
cool.
great Gabriel Pickard stuff, is again, because his stuff is pretty freaking cool.
Awesome.
Okay, let me grab what I need here. Nope, wrong thing. Well, I'm glad to know you guys have your backup characters safe and sound somewhere, you know? I mean, that's it's good to know.
Yeah.
You know, we...
Just for no reason.
Well, actually, I do really need to rework the... excuse me, some of the charts here, because you guys are higher level now than when I set up the random encounter tables before.
Mm.
So it means I can use some more powerful stuff. God, I've been waiting to use more wyverns.
It kind of makes sense actually narratively too, because things are getting more dangerous on the outskirts of the Barrowmaze.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay, so let's see here. Okay. Let's do this here. Oops, wrong thing.
Sometimes I get flashes of inspiration and just do it.
Yeah, that's great. Well, and your opening thing with what do you? I mean, like Arlen sets a pretty fucking high bar with his poetic.
Yeah, totally.
Things.
I like Arlen's poems, but I'm like Zuko. It must rhyme or it doesn't count.
Yeah. Yeah. No, and I mean like that opening riddle, or the opening thing you had, and your riddle as well too, Arlen. That really added to the.
Well, the riddle was maybe like a third to half me. It was about half or more a riddle that I found and adapted. So I can't take complete credit for that one.
Mm. All right, guys.
Well, you're standing on the shoulders of giants.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're back around. Or Jotun, as the case may be.
Right.
So an actual giant.
All right. Now, there's a reason. It may become evident very quickly why I said interesting when I saw what was coming up as a random encounter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see here. All right. Okay, it's been a while since we've had a real good scrap in this game, too.
Yeah, we've done a lot of role playing and exploration.
I don't want to scrap with the mother of toads, so that was.
Yeah, no, that was a good call.
Yes, exactly.
That would be the second time in this campaign where I've just done it like, well, what are you playing next? Because we ain't gonna roll through that.
Right.
Okay, so here is the road on which you find yourself, and again, you can picture that this roadway is completely covered in snow, and of course, it is not paved. And I think we need to change up the tunes here, guys. Let's see here.
Uh-oh.
This needs
Feels
to be
familiar.
Interesting.
That's not, I think, the one I want. Is this the one I want? Oh, I love this one.
Yeah.
Messing with my emotions again.
Actually, yeah, you're right. That's actually more. Let's see here. Is this? Oh, let's try this one here.
That's a good one.
Yes, this is appropriate. Again, Kevin MacLeod's music, fucking terrific. Okay, so guys, this is where we find ourselves traveling along. I've got Sir Yvain in the lead there. I got Zuko to one side, keeping an eye out. Bargle at the rear, kind of keeping an eye
That
out.
horse on there to taunt me.
Oh, sorry, up in here. Boom. There you go, guys.
You know, I mean, that dead horse right there is to taunt me, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Chomp, 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 chomp. So I'm picturing you're traveling east. So I've got Sir Yvain at the front there. Is that about where you guys are?
That makes sense to me.
No. Yeah,
Okay.
no, it's fine. I'll be
Okay.
right there.
And that's when, guys, you hear from the side a bunch of bestial hissing that you recognize from before, and you will see as soon as they go in. First thing I need you guys to do is to click on your token and click on, I think everyone was using perception.
Yes.
With the exception of possibly Werbin. Werbin might be using survival instead.
And was everybody getting a +1 from Bargo's scouting, or do I have to make a roll for them to get?
Everyone gets a +1 from Bargo Scouting. Yeah.
I rolled a 1 on initiative.
Oh, sorry, Flame. We'll let Flame offered to roll the D12 for us for the weather. We'll let him roll next time.
Yeah, definitely. That's good. Alright, so I'm actually...
Whoa! Nat 1 for old Zuko.
Yeah. Zuko's having flashbacks.
Yeah. Keep an eye out for
But
Bo.
you can change
Owl
it. You
bears.
get a +1, so you can make it an 8.
Still a natural 1, though.
I actually
That's
did
true.
roll an owl bear at first. And then I was like, well, I didn't roll the severity, so I don't know if I can actually afford an owl bear with my budget, so I'll roll the budget, then I'll re-roll it. And...
It's like I can read your mind initially, and that's
yeah, it's pretty awesome. Okay, so Werbin, we need your initiative too, bud. We need you to initiatize.
I am the initiator.
I will roll. Oh man.
Ooh, damn, woman fast.
Yeah, nice.
Okay.
Oh, but it didn't. It didn't
Well, yeah,
turn order.
it usually has an issue.
Oh, because yeah, you didn't. That's okay. I'll add it into your Stevo. So you actually have 24 because you got +1. Bargo,
Yeah.
you're actually at 20.
Oh, I was at 18. I made it.
Oh, you made the. Did you guys already make the adjustments?
I did on mine.
I made mine.
I didn't.
Did not. Okay, so Zuko's
I'm
at
yeah,
8. All right. Okay, guys. So here's what. As I'm making those hissing sounds from your right.
Oh,
1,
great.
2, 3.
Oh, right.
Didn't we kill you guys last time?
All right, let's put these guys. I'm gonna put my initiative. Oh, wrong level. Token leader. All right, so guys, they rolled a 20 on the nose for initiative.
No.
All right, I'm just descending. Then, guys, boom. First up is Werby Werb. Woo! Werbin, you hear the. I think you see the telltale sign of reptilian tracks going across the road moments before they spring out. So you were able to act faster than them. 3 actions. What are you doing?
I think he just had to think of his favorite whiskey. His nerves, and he is going to blast him.
Nice.
Bam.
Oh, cool. A web of sticky. So that is within 30 feet, though. And 20, 30. Yeah.
That's okay. 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh shit! Well, you can move first, right?
You can. Well, if you spend an action moving, yes.
Right, and then well, so with a 10-foot burst, does that mean it's 10-foot radius?
Yes.
Okay. Who should I nail with that? Let's see here. Maybe I will I'll move forward to here. I can move 15, right? Hold on. 20.
You got a movement of 25, I believe, so 5 squares with a move action.
Okay, well I only need to be about here to blast and nail. So I can't. So each of these squares is 5 feet, right?
Yes.
So I could really only nail those 3 of them at once,
Okay.
right? Yeah.
Looks like, yeah.
If I go like that, you see that?
Yeah,
That's right.
okay. I'll center it there. Hold on. Let me draw a shape and make it, I don't know. I'm going to make it purple so it's easy to see. So it's about 20 by 20 square is what you're going to have. So it's about like that. Is that what you're looking for?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, so that fills that area. Do they get a save against web? Anytime it makes it... Oh, yeah, here we go. It says in the thing. How about read the thing, Kev? Jeez. All right, next up is the ambushers. Okay, so first, we've got a bunch of things firing range attacks. So against you there, Werby Werb, what is your AC?
Low.
Werbin?
16.
16? Okay. That is a 26. A fucking crit on the first attack.
Wow.
They roll a natural 20?
I rolled an 18, so it was not great. All right, so arrow goes out. Werbin, you take 4 points of damage.
How is his AC so low? Does he have no dex?
No idea. Okay. And then we've got, let's see here. We'll do 2 on, or one doing 2 attacks on Bargle. Does an 18 hit you?
No, I have 18, 20.
Right, so it misses. And then 2 more firing on Werbin. One of them, 16, does hit. Werbs, you take another 3 points of damage. And then 2 more on Bargle. Bargle does a 22. Does that hit?
Yes, that will hit.
That'll hit. Okay, Bargle, you take 6 points of damage.
Okay.
And we got a bunch on the people at the front. Zuko, what's your AC?
It is 18.
18, so actually be 20 because of the range.
Oh, nice.
So, first volley misses you. Second volley misses you. And Sir Yvain, what is your AC right now?
22.
Holy smokes. Okay, so first volley completely misses you. Second volley misses you as well. So, these arrows are coming flying in from over here. And then there are, let's see here, some ones are going to charge in. So, let's see. They're going to avoid that thing, so their move is, here we go. I'm going to give them difficult terrain on the edge here, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, from there, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, Werbs, he gets 1 attack on you. Comes in with a crude-looking, like, it's strands of twig that seem to have been wound around some kind of really spiky shell of some kind. Brings it down on you and is a wild miss. There's no way that hits. Then, let's see here. 1, 2, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Zuko. Whoa! That is a big 25.
It's a hit, not a crit.
Not a crit. Awesome. Okay. So then you take 9 points of damage.
9 points of damage. -5 for my reaction.
Nice.
Because I summon up the spirit, summon up the energy of Arcantril to protect you, Zuko.
This is
And
why I
Flares up.
love Yvain a lot.
because
Awesome.
I have a special feat, I get to take a 5-foot step and then strike.
Nice.
Eat it. Kill
Let's see if
him.
you can take him down. Come on.
Oh,
Oh, shit. Yeah, that is absolutely a crit.
Sweet.
So that is 18 points of damage. You nearly kill this thing in one clean stroke. Oh, and I gotta put it. Hold on, I gotta. Oh, you know what? I'm just gonna whatever. You can't unfortunately see his because I didn't adjust where their hit boxes, but he's very, very badly hurt.
Awesome.
Okay, so then that I got 2 more guys to move who have to make saves here to try and move out of here. They can use athletics or no, they're stuck. They are immobilized, and then they're gonna. Let's see, can they do slashing damage? Yeah, with their claws. So let me roll damage for their claws. One of them is able to cut himself loose and step over here, but his whole move is going to be basically to there. The other one is stuck. I'll put a little web thing on him so we know. Okay, then it is Bargle. Bargle, what are you doing?
All right, so first action, I'm gonna move here 10 feet,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna use my my remaining two actions to cast a spell, which is Sleep, and I'm gonna cast it right in between these two guys. Why am I not pinging? But the two guys who are besetting us currently, right in their vertices, so I'll just get them because it's a 5-foot burst. Exactly.
Those guys? Okay. So go
Yeah,
ahead and click on Sleep. Let's see what it says. I can't remember if it gets
Here we
saves
go.
or not.
They do.
They do, okay.
Okay, there we go.
All right, so DC 20, and then it dictates. And sorry, does it affect everybody in that burst?
If it affects it, so which it'll just be the two of them because it's a 5-foot burst from the vertice.
Area 5 foot. Oh, I see. Yeah, I'm looking at the 30.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, yeah. So then the two of them. Let's see. It is 20 will save. Okay. Both of them collapse, completely asleep. So purple will be prone again. Purple prone. Good job, Bargle. Next up is Sir Yvain. What are you doing?
All right, then I'm going to I'm gonna raise my shield.
Yep.
I'm gonna stride. Do.
Okay, now remember that the squares off the thing are difficult terrain. Anything off the road?
I think I still have it because I have 25 move, and that's only 3 squares.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's right.
And then I'm gonna make a strike at this guy.
Go ahead.
Awesome.
Oh, nat 20!
So good.
Yeah, so you kill this thing in
Yeah.
one stroke. What does it look like?
Oh, it's just you can see Sir Yvain. He's kind of almost in his big heavy armor. He's sort of struggling back and forth against the webbing stuff, and then this thing thinks that it's got him, but he doesn't. Sir Yvain, one wicked strike beheads the thing, and it goes falling to the ground.
Nice. And his shield is up ready. Was that Bargle?
I was just saying Sir Yvain was prepared for trouble this time around.
Yeah. Zuko, what are you doing?
Okay, Zuko is going to cast 2 spells this turn.
Yeah.
He's going to start with jump. And as he starts, he's going like he's starting to hack on something. And then he's going to leap here.
Okay.
And it's suddenly like his legs are turning into a frog legs.
Yeah.
And as he hits the ground, he's cast an animal form of the frog.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
So
Okay.
he starts.
So 25 feet speed, 25 feet, one action jaws doing 2d6, and the tongue has got reach. Cool. Okay. You stay the same size, right?
No, I actually become a medium animal.
Oh, right, because you're...
But my stats
Are you
don't
small?
change.
Well, I think you are. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Okay. Wherever you were, what are you doing, buddy?
Corbin is going to... You can still hear me, right?
I can, yeah.
Corbin is going to Ray of Frost this sucker right there.
Okay. Go
Oh, wait a
ahead.
second. Well, he's got to take a step first, I guess, right? Otherwise, it's now
Ray of Frost has a range of like 120, doesn't it? It's a much longer range spell.
it's massive, but I'm just going to take a 5-foot step here.
Yeah.
Because
What's
if it don't-
minus size?
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm a big toad.
Yeah, you would get +1 to its AC for lesser cover. Go ahead and make
So,
your...
should I Birding Hands these guys? And
No.
take care of those two, or just like, All right.
You could.
Yeah.
I mean, they're sleeping. I'd leave them alone.
Okay. I will Ray of Frost the Archer. Here we
Go
go.
ahead. Yep.
Eat it.
Ooh. That is enough to hit. It does not take it down, but it hits it. I think that's it for you, right?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, the lizard folk. All right, they're gonna step up their attacks here now. Oh my goodness. All right, so first off on, I think we're gonna focus fire. So, Frog Boy, what is your AC right now?
It's 20 right now.
20 right now. Nice. Okay, so let me think here. 1, 2, 3. That's what we'll do. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So 22, 18. Okay, so one of them hits you
Okay.
for 3 points of damage.
Okay. I get 5 temporary hit points when I change form, so I only have 2 temp left.
Okay, nice. Second volley misses you altogether. Third, a nat 20.
Okay.
You take, that is 8 points of damage.
Okay. So 6.
And then that one also hits as well. No, yeah, 20 is your AC, so that misses. Next volley misses. And last one hits with 1. So you take 6 points of damage.
Gee.
Okay. So these 4 over here are completely focusing their attention on Zuko, and I think the 4 over here are going to focus their attention on you, Sir Yvain. You're currently at 24 AC?
I'm at 24 AC.
Nice. Okay.
Wow, that's awesome.
So let's see here. First one, thwa, thwa, thwa. Misses. Second one's thwa, thwa, thwa. Misses. Third volley. Misses. Fourth volley. Misses. So you can picture that there's just this fucking rain of arrows coming down. Your shield is beginning to get filled with this thing breaking off of your armor, but you take no damage from it. This guy's going to try and break free. Nope. He's going to try and cut it. See if he can cut. Not enough damage from that one. Second one, can. This guy's finally freed himself. So he will be able to move again. But he's still held by your web there, Werby Werb, and the other guys are sleeping soundly. Bargo, we're up to you. What have we done?
Okay, so I'm going to spend all 3 actions casting a magic missile.
Okay.
I'm going to target the only one that is currently damaged by Zuko.
Yes, okay.
Right there.
Go ahead.
Good man,
so-
Barrow. Nice.
What's that?
My
yeah,
man.
just want to try to. Yeah, I'm going to try to help you out here.
I think Steve just requested a fight with a red dragon at some point, too, so...
Oh, well,
No.
here we go.
Traitor.
So a total of
Nine.
9 points of damage.
That is enough to down... What does it look like as this thing is slammed and dies?
Okay, so the 3 missiles, motes of energy appear in my hand and it's circling, and then one after the other, they whip out, skirt around Werbin,
Yep.
and then Zuko, and then slam into this creature like 1, and then 2, and knock him off its feet.
And it dies. Nice. Okay, then, Sir Yvain, what are you doing?
All right, so stride 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to there.
Remember, it's difficult terrain.
Oh, yep. Move back. Okay.
There you go.
Okay. Difficult terrain there for 2, 3. But is all of this difficult terrain too out here?
Yep. It's all
Oh.
it's all covered in snow, right? So
Oh, okay. Yes. So that's move to there. And then
2 more actions.
2 more actions. Then I'm going to stride again.
Okay.
To there. And then raise my shield.
Okay.
Cool.
He's very slowly getting to us. Zuko, what are you doing?
I'm guessing the one that's trapped. Oh, sorry, I grabbed the wrong thing. This guy here is trapped, immobilized.
He is. Yep.
Gonna get tongue whipped. Blah.
Nice. Whoa, it's big damage. My goodness.
Yeah.
Okay, so not crit, but big damage on him. Boom.
That was max damage. Okay.
Okay.
He's still alive?
He's still alive. Yeah.
Okay, I'll try and whip him again. This is a -5, so.
Okay. As a miss.
Okay, then Zuko's gonna like, screw this. 5,
You
10,
got hero points.
Okay, so he's hopping back. Wee,
5, 10, 15, 20.
Yeah, remember each of those is difficult terrain too.
Yeah, it started here. So 5, 10, then 15, 20, 25.
Okay, nice. Werby Werb, what are you doing?
We're Ben Will. Let's see here. Let's help old Sir Yvain. What if I? It says the range of my acid arrow is also 120 feet. I hope that's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, acid arrow is a 2nd level spell. So.
Yeah. Let's take out one of these boys.
Okay. Let's see how much damage your acid arrow does.
Rock and roll. Eat it. Just eat it. And
It's not filled out.
all right.
Suck that. Is there other information entered in it, Steve, or?
No, that is it. I think I put that in, and I think that's all.
All right, let's see what it
3d8
does.
acid plus 1d6 persistent.
How much to acid?
3d8 plus 1d6 persistent.
Okay, and is it an attack roll?
It is.
It is. Okay, so then Steve, click on Ray of Frost. That'll be your attack roll.
All right. Hit it. Boom. Oh yeah.
That is good enough to hit, and then give us a 3d8 roll, please. Let's see if this actually kills it or not outright. Ooh, not enough. So give me a d6 roll, please.
Oh.
2 persisting acid. Okay, I'm gonna make green acid because that feels appropriate. Okay, so hit. Okay. So interesting thing we were just talking about before about like whether it may have been actually in the Discord channel, but we're talking about whether crits double persisting damage as well as normal damage. It's worth noting, Acid Arrow specifically says that the persisting damage is not doubled, which makes me think that it is otherwise normally doubled on the crit.
Right, that makes sense.
Because the phrasing of the crit is it doubles damage, full stop. It doesn't say normal damage or persisting. So I think that's a way I'll run it. Okay, Werb, I think that's it for you. Alright, so top of the round, this thing takes another 2 points of acid damage. And I think it's going to take its actions... God, what could it do to try and get this acid off of it? I guess trying to like...
snow everywhere.
Yeah, it's going to be on the ground trying to like move shit off of it. And like throwing, you know, scraps of armor and shit off of it. So... Let's start with Sir Yvain this time. So we got 3 shots on Sir Yvain again. Nat 20.
Oh, jeez.
Sir Yvain, you take 10 points of damage.
I'm going to interpose my shield on that one.
Okay.
So my shield and I each take 2 points of damage.
Nice. Okay. Second volley. Another nat 20. Good lord.
Jeez.
That is 12 points of damage.
All right.
Third volley. I didn't roll a nat 20. I did roll a nat 19. So this is not doubled. You take 3 points of damage from that one. Okay, and then we've got 3 that are firing at all Werby, or actually at Zuko, I think, because they were... Yeah. I'll have 1 shoot Werbin, because they don't like dwarves. Werby, you're hit twice, or no, only once. Werby, you take 7 points of damage from 1 arrow coming in. And then Zuko, we got 2 volleys coming in on you. One of them hits. You take 4 points of damage. And a second one comes in. Another nat 20.
What?
Jeez.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I'm rolling 3 dice each time, though, so I mean, like...
Yeah.
You know, that crit, though, is only 6 points of damage, though. So it's not...
Okay.
Not a huge hit. Okay. Then we've got this guy. Finally pulls him. He has pulled himself out now. So I guess he's going to have to go there. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He'll spend an action to draw a javelin, and then he's going to hurl it at Sir Yvain. 21 doesn't hit, does it?
Does not hit.
Okay, so this thing was very close to you, but misses. Next up is Bargle. What are you doing?
So Bargle is going to cast a Produce Flame spell.
Okay.
He's going to target the frog that Werbin Hurdy hit.
Yep.
That got acid. So
The acid
just to
one,
try to take him out. And he's actually too far to normally reach because it's a 30-foot radius. However, he's going to modify the spell on the fly using his reach spell feat.
Outstanding. Okay.
So it's double the distance.
Okay.
So a sphere of flame goes hurling at this guy. And I'm going to use a hero point.
Good call.
Hero point. Yeah, here we
An
go.
amazing damage, too. Holy shit.
Yeah.
So it does hit, does not crit, but that is enough to kill this thing that was trying to put the acid out.
Cool.
Sir Yvain, you're up next.
All right. Well, these guys. So, I'm gonna stride. I'm gonna raise my shield.
Yep.
I'm gonna stride. That's all I can move, but that gets me close enough to make a strike at one of them with my sword.
Definitely. Give him shit.
Roll 20 has its sense of dramatic.
Yeah, exactly.
By which I mean my internet has been. Oh,
So 16.
so the 16. I'll use. Can I use the hero point and use the second one?
You can use a hero point to re-roll.
Okay, I'll use the hero point to reroll.
Yeah.
Nice.
25 is still more than good enough. Yeah. Boom. Okay. So takes a big hit on this thing. It you basically it ducks back and you kind of cut along its the side. It's not a really substantial hit. Are you out of actions?
That is the end of my actions.
Okay, Zuko the Toad. What are you doing?
Well, Zuko has decided that he was a little too presumptuous with the toad form, so he's going to dismiss it as an action.
Okay.
He sucks back into his little goblin form.
Yeah.
And then he's going to jump again with that spell.
Mother, why aren't you watching me?
to over here, and then he's going to shield.
That fire, awesome. Werby Werb, you're up next, bud. What are you doing?
All right, Werbin is going to let's see.
Love that
You-
jump spell.
What's that?
I love that jump spell.
Yeah, the jump is awesome.
Yeah. Okay, he's in a pretty good position. He's going to help out old, or he's going to Ray of Frost this guy.
That guy, okay.
No. Well, first he's going to move first, though. I think he's going to move because he wants to get a little closer.
You guys can see the bars over them, right?
Yeah.
To see which ones have been injured already.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's going to move there. So what about moving diagonally? How does that work?
Anyone have any thoughts on focusing fire here? Just because
It would be to our advantage if we did.
that sounds like a sound tactical approach. Because I'm wondering, Steve, is it more advantageous for you to focus fire on someone who's already been injured, or to go and tag some other thing that has not been hit yet?
I'm going to chip away at things, but all right. Let's we can always. I'm happy to focus fire, so let's do that. Rip Frost that little bar there.
You just love like hitting everything.
You hit it with frost. I'm gonna hit it with fire.
Yeah.
That's what I'm practicing when I'm doing when I'm walking in the forest.
These horribly like scorched squirrels and like sparrows frozen in place. Okay.
Nice.
Who you want to hit there,
That's
Werb?
pretty good.
I'm hitting
Yeah,
this
that's
one here.
That one right there. Okay, that is enough to drop it.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
Alrighty. So then these things turn. Let's see here. I think you have killed more than half their number. Yeah. They are effecting a retreat. So let's zoom out.
Not the good sleeping.
All right. 1, 2, 3. Okay. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Boy. Okay. You don't get a tax opportunity. 1, 2, 3.
Nope, not yet.
1, 2, 3. Not yet.
there.
Love it.
Well, level 6, that's the feat I'm taking.
Nice.
Tax opportunity.
Cool.
Okay. And 1, 2. Oops. 3. Come on. Move. Move, you little guy. Okay, they are booking. They are not fans of you guys. Clearly they bit off way more than they could chew. Okay. So, that's their move. Bargle, what are you doing?
I am going to let those other ones go. I'm going to target this one on the who's sleeping in front of me that has. It looks like it's nearly dead.
Yeah.
Can I? I mean, I can cast a spell at it. Can I? I don't know what the.
You know
rules are.
what?
Can I walk
I'll let
up
you
and-
just. In what way do you coup de grace this thing?
He's gonna walk up. He's gonna so he's gonna stride 5 feet and or step, and he's gonna use an action to pull out his dagger, and he's gonna basically just slit its throat as
Okay.
fast as he can.
It wakes up in time to see its those reptilian black eyes, kind of like.
Yeah.
Okay. What about Sir Yvain?
Do we know if these things can, like, speak common or anything like that? Like, is there any reason to keep one alive to interrogate it?
You could.
Why don't you? Let's see here.
Who knows?
Give me. Would you kindly give me a society check? Let's see if he knows offhand right now. Yeah, I mean they are sentient. They're not. Their culture is not particularly sophisticated, but they are you know, sentient language-using species.
Okay, well then I'm going to stride here, stride to here, and then stride over to here to get ready to sort of tackle this one.
Okay. Zuko, what are you doing?
Do we know what language they speak?
Without that good of a roll, yeah. They speak Draconic and Iruxi.
That's what Zuko speaks.
Nice.
Zuko speaks Draconic?
Draconic.
Okay.
Yeah, so does Sir Yvain, in fact.
That's
And
cool.
Barkle.
Well, Zuko is going to effect some healing on people, if they would like it.
Okay.
The guy's sleeping, so it doesn't matter. He's not injured. I'm just going to do a burst heal 2nd level.
Okay.
Prepare for healing. Boom. Go round 11 back to everybody.
Nice.
Awesome.
Okay. And then Word, what do you got? Everyone seems to be fleeing here, though they may still be in range if you want to get a parting shot on them.
The only hit points that guy have left, and all right.
Let's see.
Not the one on the ground. Oh.
Yeah, they're still within range. All these guys are still within range, it looks like.
Well, let's take out that injured guy for a little XP bonus with an acid arrow. Yeah.
Nice.
Oh,
They have no
man.
value alive! Well. I respect all life.
Storm through it. All right.
Go ahead.
We just
Ray
make it
Frost.
up. Bam. What's up? Is that gonna hit
16
it? Oh,
is good enough. That is not quite good enough to kill him, though.
Oh, the damage is 3d8 plus 1d6.
Damage is 3d8.
Yeah, he acid arrowed him, not Ray Frosted him.
Oh, yeah. You use Acid Arrow again? I'm gonna blow through all the most powerful spells.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, so yeah, then that definitely is enough to like it hits this thing and a wave of acidic, you know, goo goes over this thing and like that melting man from RoboCop style, he's and falls down.
They're not
Melting.
running now, they're running faster.
They're definitely running faster. Okay, so then you guys will be able to the thing you were facing there, the surviving one. Let's see here. Do I have an image for you guys to look at? I think so. Did I do a handout for these guys already?
Yeah.
I did. Here we go, guys. Although he's a little stockier than that, I need to find it better. There's actually an amazing. Oh, what's his name? It's not Wayne Reynolds. It's gosh, he's the guy who did a lot of the interior art for the original Eberron. Steve Ellis. He has these illustrations from 4E D&D of Lizardmen, and they are fucking awesome. Okay, so there's this stocky lizard man who's on the ground, but you guys are going to try and capture this thing?
Yeah. I think so.
Yep.
So why don't, let's hear, Sir Yvain, are you the one who's going to try and manhandle this guy into place?
I assume so. I'm figuring that I'm probably the best suited for
The biggest
that.
and toughest. Yeah, give me an athletics check then, please. Let's see if we can wrestle this guy. Oh yeah, easily. So what does it look like as you sort of, like, this guy wakes up being put in an arm bar and stuff?
Yeah, so I think he wakes up and I just sort of kick away his weapon and step on one arm and hold my sword at his throat.
Wow. Okay.
So it's going to be right over there with him.
And what is the last thing this thing hears before we call it a session?
Do you think it tastes good?
Why do you attack travelers upon the road?
Oh.
Okay. So let's leave the session there, and we'll pick you up on the road next time. So let's first off, let's hand out some XP here. So I think tonight, guys, you're going to get 90 between the combat encounter and the great role playing. 90 XP tonight, and are we all? Oh yeah, no one's low level characters, no lobies tonight. So
Yep.
everyone's getting full XP. So good stuff. Let's check in the chat, see if there's any other stuff we want to see here. Oh yeah, Flame was voting for the thing, the mission you guys are on is the most serious of the missions.
Yeah.
Oh, and George, thanks again for the comment on the southern accent. I may or may not practice that shit in my car. Or Jeep, technically. Okay, hope we fight Trogdor. Steve really wants to fight a giant one-armed fire-breathing dragon. Yeah, and Flame also votes for the, what do you call it, for Focused Fire. Mode says, nice battle. Thanks, guys. Excellent. Well, I mean, full credit to the players for their amazing response to the Lizardman threat. And what the hell are Lizardmen doing this far north? My goodness.
Why don't I have Fireball yet? That'd be a fun spell.
Nice. So, for those listening at home, again, as always, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns regarding the session, please don't hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section below. You can also leave a comment in the comment section of the video to tell the players about their awesome role-playing and their amazing tactics. In addition, if you don't want to miss a live session of the game, be sure to click on subscribe and click on the bell icon so you'll be notified when we go live. In addition, you can check on the community tab of the channel where you what our schedule is for the week, because I always post that on Sunday nights. In addition, if you want to get a hold of me otherwise, you can reach me on Twitter at Dungeon Musings. You can reach me by email. My email address is dungeonmusings@gmail.com. And you can find a link to the Dungeon Musings Discord server on the description of this video. In there, we have channels dedicated to this game, a bunch of our other games, as well as Find-A-Games. We have Arlen and a bunch of other people have been running games as well, too. So if you're interested in joining us at the table, there are other DMs who are running games, and once a month I run an open table session as well. So you can join me at my table once a month for a random one-shot. Not random in the sense that I put a table together and roll on it, but I really should think about doing that for 2020.
That's interesting.
That'd be funny. Yeah, and then, so there's also just general gaming bullshit we talk about on there as well too. So if you want to talk to any of the players or myself, that's a really good way of hanging out in chat or just lurking and seeing what bullshit we're talking about. In addition, there is a link in the description of the video to something called Heroes Save Villages. That is the charity fundraising campaign that we run on the channel. We don't monetize the channel in any way. I don't run ads. I don't have Patreon. If you are inclined to toss some GP in the direction of the channel, I would encourage you to consider clicking through, learning more about the SOS Children's Villages International charity that benefits from the donations that go through that portal. Any money donated to the Heroes Save Villages campaign go directly to help SOS Children's Villages do the very good work that they do in over 130 countries, helping over 80,000 orphaned and abandoned children around the world. It is a really terrific organization that does great work to help provide stable and supportive living conditions for children who would otherwise not have anything close to that. Last but not least, I want to thank my players. Friday night, once again, back to the Barrowmore. Steve, Arlen, John, and George, thank you so much for joining me tonight, guys. This was a lot of fun. I greatly enjoyed doing my best Joni Stubbs impression, so George, thanks for that.
That's great.
So, then, until next time, for those listening at home, again, thank you so much for joining us, and until we see you again, we're back in the Barrowmaze next Wednesday, and until then, happy gaming.